agents. Rini has been behind bars since DNA testing revealed he was not a missing Aurora boy, Timothy Pitson. Striking Chicago Symphony Orchestra musicians have rejected a contract proposal management described as its last, best, and final offer. Members of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra Association voting on and rejecting management's offer on Monday. Bail set at $3 million for a man accused of stabbing his brother-in-law to death in Wheaton. Pine Lott appeared in DuPage County Court yesterday on charges of murder. Police found the victim with several stab wounds on Sunday morning. Prosecutors say the suspect allegedly stabbed his brother-in-law in the chest while he slept. Former chief of the Chicago Heights Park Police Department, who was arrested for drunk driving, no longer facing any charges. Cook County State's Attorney's Office deciding last month to dismiss the case against Jose Maldonado, nearly 3 years after his arrest. Afterwards, he was suspended without pay and eventually fired from the police department. Police are looking for the person who shot a man outside of the Secretary of State facility in Chicago Heights. Police in LaPorte, Indiana, telling parents not to worry about what they call the latest school threat hoax. Officers yesterday say the threat toward Hanley Elementary is something that was posted online about a month ago. It wasn't credible then, and it's not credible now. Recently unsealed court documents say accused kidnapper Brent Christensen was treated by the University of Illinois Counseling Center in the months prior to the alleged kidnapping of visiting scholar Ying Zhang. Documents revealed in court say Christensen described an urge to commit homicide as a fantasy. School kids in Illinois are going to get a lesson that no means no. But it's not what you think. Illinois House last week approved a plan to require schools that teach sex ed to include a lesson on consent. While the House has passed the bill, the Illinois Senate will take it up next. Riders who use Amtrak in Indiana losing some trains. Amtrak yesterday said it's canceling the Hoosier State Line, which runs about 4 times a week between Indianapolis and Chicago. Amtrak says riders in Indiana can still ride the Cardinal Line. It runs 3 times a week from Indy to Chicago. Ben Zobrist's 2-run single highlights a 6-run second inning. Cubs beat the Pirates 10-0 in the home opener at Wrigley Field. Afterward, Cubs skipper Joe Maddon says John Lester will undergo further testing on a hamstring injury.
He'll get tested tomorrow. I don't really know. He wasn't awful, but when I went out the first time, he did talk me into it because I'm really deferring to his veteranship right there. It could have been a cramp. I don't know. But watching him throw the next pitch, the next hitter, I didn't like it at all.
Cubs improved to 3-7. Rays 5-1 winners over the White Sox. Bulls welcome the Knicks tonight for their final home game. Virginia Cavaliers, NCAA men's basketball champions. Former Blackhawk coach and Hinsdale resident Joe Quenneville, the new coach of the Florida Panthers, joining former Hawks GM Dale Talon, now with Florida. The news service of La Quinta by Wyndham. La Quinta by Wyndham, spacious rooms, free high-speed Wi-Fi, and a delicious Brightside breakfast, everything you need to more than succeed. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you triumph. Book at LQ.com. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Dennis Prager live in Chicago for Cigar Night on Thursday, May 16th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Dennis will be joined by AM 560's Dan Proft for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets start at $29 and include a cigar. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by Fireplace and Chimney Authority, Permaseal, The Range at 355, and healthinsurancementors.com.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house. The quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
As a business owner, you have hundreds of decisions to make on a daily basis. It's beyond needing to pay bills, keeping employees happy, or what the next step is to grow your business. Part of your stress can be making sure you're protected in a time of crisis. Can you trust that your insurance provider is going to be there when you need them most? When you're looking for a partner who's there for you in your most desperate times, call Insure with us. You won't have to wait on hold to talk to an agent who's unfamiliar with your policy. Speak directly to who wrote your policy when you have any urgent question or need. Don't hesitate. Get it done today. Get a free quote in less than 24 hours at lowcostinsurance.biz. Choose from dozens of top insurers across the U.S. Insure with us focuses on finding you the best coverage for your business and for your family. Visit them today at lowcostinsurance.biz. Insure with us. Coverage for the things that matter most.
You might not be able to get a new car with your tax refund, but you can make your car feel like it's brand new. All it needs is a great paint job. Come in to Mako today and get your dream paint job during their tax season sales event.
5:10, and an update on your morning roads in the AM 560 traffic center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
On the outbound Kennedy this Tuesday morning, traffic still a bit congested. Central to Nagel, 2 left lanes have been closed. That work is wrapping up now. The inbound side of Kennedy looks good. Wheaton, just no delays to report this hour. The Eisenhower is fine, so is the Stevenson. The Rhine, there's some overnight work at Canalport. The exit's been closed. The opening shortly. There's several ramp closures downtown at Kennedy as well, but again, all that is lifting now. The outbound Rhine, 3 left lanes are closed. 87th split till 6 this morning. Tollways, some morning work. All of that is wrapping up the Tri-State. Also on I-80 in both directions. Briggs and Francis. Northwest Indiana for now looks good. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Partly sunny today with our high 65. Clouds on the increase tonight, low 35. Rain and breezy for tomorrow, high 41. Shower and thunderstorm, clouds and breezy on Thursday with a high near 53. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 50 at O'Hare, 51 along the lakefront. A bit on the chilly side in Aurora this morning. It's where it's 44. And your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh, it's time for Brucey Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, who are vacationing with some of the listeners in Mexico. Thank you so much. Yesterday...
I owe Mike Scott $5. You have a different shirt on. Sorry, you're right. You win, Mike. Go ahead.
Well, because yesterday you told me that I was going to wear the same shirt every day. So
little teasing, little humiliation is
I'm
good.
I'm like Michael Jordan. I get incensed when I get it.
Hell of a gambler.
It's motivating to me. So yesterday I started the show, of course, as is my wont. I learned this from Ro Khan to complain about the fact that we weren't on until 5:12. And then we have to take a break like a minute later. But today I'm not going to complain about it because I needed the extra 7 or 8 minutes of sleep because I stayed up to watch the end of the NCAA championship last night.
There's
you don't
a
like
sentence I'll
that.
never
You don't
say.
you don't like that stuff.
First
do
of
you?
all, I believe that squeaking, that constant of the sneakers, it lowers IQ points. I think it explains society as a whole.
Wait, let's. So I'm doing sound effects. You know, I started my career in the 1940s doing sound effects. I was the sound man for Jack Benny.
Really?
I made the sound of his pants chafing against each other as he sashayed across the stage. But you do sound effects too. Let's hear that sound effect again.
It's 4 hours of that. Not to mention, these kids all travel. All right? I'm so sick of the way they've
It's their signature
conformed.
move.
It's so preposterous. They're either carrying or traveling, yelling. I mean, it's moronic.
Here's how I
moronic.
Watch. Here's how I watch the NCAA tournament. You know, I'll look up every few minutes to see if the game's close. I know that it's going to come down to the last couple of minutes anyway. You know, I don't have time to. I'm getting into my dotage now. I've got to really allot my time very carefully here, and I'm not going to donate all of it to, especially since I've been out of my office bracket pool for the last 2 weeks.
You haven't had an office in 20 years.
Well,
that's
a problem. You need that threshold thing. You got to be in office.
You got to have a job
to have an office pool. You're right about that. But while I'm watching that, I'm reading an article in Harper's about Gary Wills. Gary Wills. Yeah, I can go to the basket both with my left and my right hand.
Sure.
Gary Wills, of course, has broken bad on Thomas Merton after all these years, and I know I thought we discussed that.
It's like an Archie Bunker episode. You might as well say your lawyers, Rubenstein. I don't know who you're talking about.
Exactly.
I'm not going to waste 1 ounce of brain power.
There we go. So
figuring out who these
are you
idiots
happy that Virginia did the turnaround?
Yeah, I'm ecstatic.
Apparently, they lost to a 16 seed last year in the first round. That's like, blowing a 1-foot putt, and they lost last year.
You know what I noticed? You want to talk sports?
Please do it in the voice of Bill Raftery. He's kissing the glass.
You know who did a turnaround yesterday? And I attribute it directly to this show.
Right.
I was watching the poor man's Ted Cruz, Ricketts buffoon. I walked in and he was being interviewed by one of the fungible newscasters whose names also are not worthy of me learning. And they were asking him about the father. He was standing outside, showing off the hotel.
Cubs opening day yesterday, a 10-0 victory over the Pirates. Lester has a hamstring injury.
Sure.
That's our look at sports right now. Now here's Sean Thompson.
So their cabber, he's showing him, look at over there is the hotel I built on your money. Look at over here is the other way I corrupted Chicago politics. Anyway, they ask him about the old man. It's still he says, listen, he totally did a 180 from throwing the old man under the bus. He's our family and we love him. Because he listens to this show. Sure, he does.
Actually, Sean, and I'll let you, live,
Oh, okay.
What else with that illusion. Apparently, that's what he said in his initial press conference about the old man. He's family, and he was trying to justify. I'm upset that the Cubs bent over backwards to appease the Muslim community. You shouldn't be Muslim phobic or Islamophobic. You shouldn't be that. But they went way too far. They invited CARE. The Council on American Islamic Relations, whatever. It's hard for me to remember all these.
Who cares? Who cares about CARE?
These mnemonic devices like CARE or the Iraq Revolutionary Guard, which is also in the news. But they're
I find most religions funny.
But CARE sympathizes, if not outright supports, terrorism, and they invited. At least it was Lori Lightfoot who threw out the first pitch yesterday. Was her first pitch better at Wrigley Field than it was at Kaminsky Field?
You want me to believe? Hold on a minute. You want me to believe that Charlie McCarthy-looking thing threw a ball from the pitcher's mound to the catcher?
At Kaminsky, she did it like from Little League.
It's not even think she was anymore, is it? The ones that
it's
lived in
always going to be
River
Kaminsky. I thought she was like not even Little League length away from. Not even women's softball slow pitch.
She's twice the man Rahm will ever be. You just remember that.
Total. Well,
I mean, that's not even a close.
Easily. When the Bears.
Do you
remember? I remember when Rahm said the Bears were 3-0. Yeah.
Do you remember on the first when you actually reached out to me? Wasn't it you that sent the email and said, "Hey, we want to meet you"? How many years ago was that?
Me? I actually sent that?
Yeah.
I don't
and I went
take
to meet,
affirmative action like that. I did want to meet you, but I usually don't
thought it
ask.
was well, anyway, we had an email correspondence.
Most of my emails are nasty.
And it was coffee. Yeah. You and I were going to have coffee.
Right.
And then I thought you and Prof hung around. I didn't realize that he would throw you off a balcony.
I haven't talked to Dan in 4 years.
And then,
but we email each other.
Right, and he emailed emailed me as well. Let's get a cigar, and we ended up going. I think it was Erie Street Cafe. In fact, I know it was. It was Erie Street Cafe with Proft.
With me?
No, you were not invited.
Oh, right, okay.
This was
All
for
right.
men. Anyway,
Sure.
we went for lunch at Erie Street Cafe, and we sat outside to smoke the cigar.
I sat outside with you to smoke a cigar.
It wasn't at the same place.
But I think it was a
Proft choking
Starbucks.
you. Yeah, that was a Starbucks. Yeah, I smoke a lot of cigars.
Okay, but
anyway,
this is another thing.
this is the same
All right.
day, though.
Okay.
Same day.
Because I remember Dan and I rolling our eyes up in our head at each other over this character that we finally met.
Yeah, good.
Sean Thompson.
You're glad I did that. So anyway, I go and a black SUV gets out, and these guys are all dolled up. Right?
It's R. Kelly, right? In his pocket
as well. Anyway, I'm sitting out there, and
first thing you say is, "I'm taller than Rahm."
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
and I'm not tall. I'm at least a head taller, maybe more.
Right.
Anyway, I said to the waiter, I said, "Give me a piece of paper." Prof goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Don't worry about it. Give me a piece of paper."
Oh no!
Did I tell you what I did?
You were going up to Rahm Emanuel.
Oh, that little.
First
of all,
through his
he had
phalanx of guards.
he had six
who,
of
by
these
the way,
buffoons.
refer to him as Tiny Dancer.
First of all.
because they listen to Dan Proft and me on the radio,
And they're all clout-ridden scoundrels themselves. You think they get that detail because they're really like Dick Tracy? Of course not. They know the right guy that knows the guy
But
that
they're
gets them the
big
cushy job.
guys.
They're morons. Anyway, all dolled up in their $3,000 suits. Other pretend successful men. So I write on the piece of paper reserved for Rahm Emanuel, and I went into the bathroom at the Erie Street
that's
Cafe.
so
You know they
funny.
got the short urinal. I call it the Rahm Emanuel urinal.
You put
and I put the reserve for Rahm Emanuel on the short urinal.
Oh my!
And as I
God.
walk
I
back,
thought you were going in there to get a gun.
As I walk back,
like Michael
no.
Corleone.
Kidding me?
Okay.
They're not worth. I wouldn't waste the time to fill out the report on these bums. Anyway, he's sitting in a booth with a woman, another front beard. Anyway, he's sitting there ordering his lunch, and he sees we make eye contact. He goes, "How you doing?" I go, "Not too bad for a capitalist in a communist world." And
You said that to Rahm Emanuel?
Absolutely.
He did not let that crisis go to waste.
First of all,
he named you his
what's he going to do?
Department of Aviation
Get off and pull the
Commissioner.
buttons off my jacket? What's he going to do, Rahm Emanuel?
How did he react to that ridiculous
He looked at me.
bit
And
of
the
political
security guard-
ideology?
The security guard looked at me too, like with a
Yeah.
dumbfounded look. But he caught it before Rahm.
Okay.
And then I continued on my merry way. I've always regretted not sitting down and forcing him into a conversation. Really, it's one of those things in life you regret not doing.
I think you did quite a bit, and he wound up going into that.
I don't know who
bathroom.
did. Somebody did.
He went into that bathroom,
As far as I know, everybody did.
and
they
probably
saw
got on a
reserved for Rahm.
stool in order to stand by that urinal.
Exactly. He probably measured it and had the same one installed in the office, which gets to stay there now.
Well, okay. I'm going to check that box off. We did the Rahm Emanuel story. We'll be doing it again at 8:20.
It included you. We had. I started off with you.
I love listening to your anecdotes.
Thank you.
I have done myself. Now, we have to pause for station identification.
Really blew a
This
whole
is
segment.
the Dan and Amy Radio Network. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for them today.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
For more than 50 years, Mueller CPA, a certified public accounting and business advisory firm, has been serving clients in Chicagoland. Dave Nissen, Mueller's managing partner, is here to explain Mueller CPA's history, journey, and opportunity.
Thanks, Dan. Our firm was started by Al Mueller as a one-person CPA firm in 1968. Through growth and partnerships, Mueller CPA has blossomed from a regional firm to an organization that provides services worldwide. Mueller is a reflection of our years of listening and caring for our clients, and we would not be here today if it wasn't for our professionals and support personnel. We value the human side of our business and recognize it as being the most important element of our success. We are growing, we are hiring, and we welcome your interest in our firm.
If you are looking for your first opportunity or your forever career, join an award-winning team that cares about you. Visit the career page at MuellerCPA.com or call Dave directly at 630-524-5274.
Before you buy a new expensive mattress, I urge you to consider the MyPillow Mattress Topper. It's a lot less expensive and will totally revitalize your mattress. Amy has one, and frankly, she doesn't know if she loves her MyPillow or her MyPillow Mattress Topper more. It's that good, and you'll get the best sleep of your life. Order now and get 30% off plus 2 free standard MyPillows. The exclusive 3-layer design includes MyPillow foam for support, transitional foam to help relieve pressure points, and an ultra-soft patented temperature regulating cover that's washable and dryable. Plus, Mike Lindell's 60-day money-back guarantee. You'll get the total body support you need, sleep better, and save a lot of money. Save 30% on your MyPillow mattress topper when you use the promo code Amy. Plus, you'll receive 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. So visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. Promo code Amy.
It's so nice now that the kids are asleep.
Cheers.
We got the kids, our house, a stable income.
Checking off all the boxes.
But there's one box we haven't checked off.
What's that?
Life insurance.
We don't need to think about that now. We're young.
That's why now is the best time. Life insurance gets more expensive the older you get.
But I don't have time to do a blood test. It's such a hassle to meet with someone just to get a quote.
Not with Ethos.
Ethos?
It's a modern kind of life insurance. You just answer 4 quick questions at getethos.com and get a free instant quote. No pushy salespeople. And no medical exams required for policies covering under $1 million. You can apply online in just 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Let's do it.
But then what will we do for the rest of the night?
I'm sure we can think of something.
Get your free instant quote and submit your complete application in minutes. Just go to getethos.com. That's ETHOS. Getethos.com. Getethos.com.
Springtime is here, and maybe you're starting to get outside more. Maybe you're playing golf or getting all that springtime yard work done. And maybe you've noticed the next day that you're feeling a little more sore than you're used to, or maybe your energy level has been low. You need to try Balance of Nature. You need your fruits and veggies, and you're not getting them in the fast food drive-through lane, but you can get them in a single capsule from Balance of Nature. We're talking about 10 servings of 31 fruits and vegetables, all in a single capsule. You'll hear the testimonials on the air here, and let me tell you, they are all real. Dr. Douglas Howard, the creator of Balance of Nature, has shared the emails and voicemails with Amy of real people who've gotten healthy with Balance of Nature, and now she's taking it too. And here's the deal you want to jump on. The price of fruits and vegetables is about to go up, but if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price for the fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. But you've got to use the promo code Chicago when you call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use promo code Chicago.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why aren't more things in life customizable? Like, why do I have to pay a full gym membership when I don't even use all the equipment? Like the rowing machine. I don't know about you, but I'm not doing a ton of manual lake travel these days.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Napa know-how.
It's Love Your Car Month at Napa. And to show your car the love, get a Napa bucket for $2.99 and save 20% on almost everything you can fit inside, like car wash, car wax, and tire shine. So save some cash and look good doing it by getting 20% off with the Napa bucket. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores, exclusions apply. Minimum 3 items may not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 4/30/19.
AM 560. The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy.
All the old man's got all the energy up front. Let's see at 8:30 if you're singing.
How about 5:37? I mean, I stayed up for the NCAA last night. I'm looking at my Twitter feed right now, and Bruce Wolf Chicago tweets, just read MyPillow and Balance of Nature spots on AM 560 The Answer. So that's what makes Twitter so wonderful.
Really?
I can know what I
That's
just
riveting.
did. Yes.
I was having a better conversation in there with our little interactions.
In the control room?
With
Yes.
the communist sympathizers of Chicago.
The
we
kids,
pretend
the
they're
millennials.
Oh, I love them. And
I'm worried about the millennials. Those guys in there, I'm sure, are going to vote for Pete Buttigieg, or however you pronounce his name. I'm worried about that guy. And I'll tell you why I'm worried about him, Sean.
I'm worried about Yang.
David Axelrod once said, and, he said a lot of bad things, but he's pretty smart. David Axelrod once said, in the next election, the people usually want to go the opposite of the president they have. So we've got the bombastic Donald Trump, the conservative Donald Trump, or the populist Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Let's not get crazy.
Pete Buttigieg, however you pronounce his name.
Let's do it Buttigieg.
We should pronounce it right, but I'm just bad.
I think I am.
So here's the thing. He's the mayor of South Bend. His demeanor is wonderful. He's picked a fight. He's very calm. He's a smart guy.
It's like Mr.
very
Rogers
articulate.
with less
Okay.
testosterone.
Well, exactly. And that's what people, the millennials, will like. Also, he picked a fight with Mike Pence. He said, Mike Pence, hey, what can I do? God created me this way. Mike Pence says, hey, I'm not fighting you. I think you're a good guy. You've always been honorable. But see, Pete Buttigieg wants the fight because unless you come over to their side on the social issues, and unless you want Supreme Court justices who are going to remove the 501c3 tax-exempt status for synagogues and churches that don't want to perform gay marriages, you're the enemy.
First of all,
and
listen to me.
Don't forget
I got
it.
a real problem with the idea we just subjugate ourselves to government licensing for love anyway. It's nobody's business. You understand me? Least of all,
there's a good libertarian argument
it's
for
not
getting
about
rid of.
it's about what do you not need government's permission
Didn't
to do?
Alabama do that? That was their reaction to the Obergefell decision. They decided, okay, we're not issuing marriage licenses anymore. We're going to have affidavits.
Never
so you
forget,
can't even get married in Alabama
Never
anymore.
forget, as a Republican,
not that anybody did, unless it was to their first cousin. But go ahead.
Never forget. Stop interrupting me, damn it.
Sorry.
Never forget, as a Republican, the low-life scoundrels we have that pretend to be Republicans conservative. And I am speaking to you, you fat slob Dennis Hatzert. Scumbag. Extraordinaire. What about the other one that was in the bathrooms at the airports tapping the shoe?
Yeah.
Another conservative Republican.
Yeah.
I don't need the government's license to be in love with somebody.
But here's the
so
thing.
I don't care who you love, because what you do when you do this is you arm somebody who should be unarmed, like this flaccid Mr. Rogers Buttigieg, and you give him a weapon now that he can use as a virtue shield. Oh, I'm gay, so love me. When it doesn't matter, now you've got to talk to me about the content of your character.
Well, it's interesting.
See, I look at these homosexuals. It doesn't matter to me.
Stop interrupting me interrupting you right now. I'm trying
Doesn't
to say.
matter. Why does it matter? I don't care who you date. For all I know, you say your wife is lovely. I don't know. She could look like Rauner's wife. I can't tell if he's gay or not. That shouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's about who you are as a person.
Look, as far as Hastert goes, and the other one that you mentioned, not that I'm justifying their behavior, but as I always say, hypocrisy is the tribute that vice pays to virtue. I came up with that epigram, or La Rochefoucauld did. But anyway, we'll get back to more of this. And did you know that you can get we do have a break right now, that we can get Portillo's chocolate cake for 56 cents a slice.
That means
today.
I'm buying.
I think I was going to say I'm buying today.
Sure you are.
There we go. Now let's go to the newsroom and Mike Scott.
That name you're searching for, by the way, is Larry Craig.
Yes!
And Marcus Brown. Marcus Brown and I have been in the Larry Craig Memorial Bathroom in the Twin Cities. When we went up,
on my team.
when we went up there for the 2008 convention, the McCain convention.
And did you go through the whole Larry Craig scenario? I mean, did you tap your foot?
No.
Okay.
That did not. That
Are
did
you
not
suggesting Mike Scott
No,
is a
just
closet
'cause
foot
you-
tapper?
no,
Don't
no.
ever do that in my presence.
No,
he's
you
the only
just-
other guy in there who
just
dresses
for the
like
fun
a fella.
of it. You got to do it.
That would have been fun, though. Now that I see your point, I think that would have been
Golden
fun.
opportunity and shower missed.
A reenactment, perhaps.
Yes.
Fair skies and 50 degrees at 5:32. Attorney General William Barr is facing members of Congress today for the first time since taking office, amid intense speculation over his review of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia report. German and French officials this morning insisting that any further delay to Britain's withdrawal must come with strings attached and assurances on Brexit from Britain. Meantime, the Trump administration is set to slap tariffs of about $11 billion on imports from the European Union. The administration says they are a response to EU subsidies of French government-owned aviation giant Airbus. That's Boeing's biggest rival. 3 American service members and a U.S. contractor were killed when their convoy was struck by a roadside bomb Monday near the main U.S. base in Afghanistan. President Trump is tapping James Murray to lead the Secret Service. Murray, a career Secret Service member, replaces Randolph Alice, who found himself out of a job yesterday following a security breach at the Southern White House, the Trump family-owned vacation property. Outgoing Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen thanking the president for an opportunity to serve.
I'm forever grateful and proud of the men and women of DHS who work so hard every day to execute their missions and to protect the homeland.
Talking with reporters in Northern Virginia yesterday, Nielsen says she'll help with the transition. Congressman Eric Swalwell of California jumping in to the 2020 presidential race.
None of that is going to change until we get a leader who is willing to go big on the issues we take on, be bold in the solutions we offer, and do good in the way that we govern. I'm ready to solve these problems. I'm running for president of the United States.
Swalwell faces a little trouble on Twitter already this morning, identified only as hashtag 18. Charges are pending against a man accused of stabbing two local teens, siblings, and then sexually assaulting one of them yesterday during a home invasion in Sleepy Hollow. The man accused of posing as a missing Aurora boy in Kentucky will face a judge today. Brian Reaney will learn whether bond will be set after he was charged with lying to federal agents. Cubs beat the Pirates 10-0 at Wrigley Field. Rays over the White Sox at guaranteed rate 5-1. 5:34. Check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager says it's all about your moral compass.
They hate Trump so they can lie. That is the way in which their moral compass functions. I can lie because I am a leftist and I have higher principles than truth. Getting rid of a president I don't like is a higher principle than telling anything true. That is their view. They believe what I have just said.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Your home. You buy new siding and you pay a specific price. New flooring? You pay a specific price. New windows? A specific price. Buy solar panels for your home and no, you only pay 25 to 50% of the cost and start saving money day one. Solar for every home is coming. Not to replace electricity, but to supplement it. Today's solar is reliable and sustainable. Go to IllinoisSolarRebates.com, home of Dominion Solar. Right now, you can get solar for your home or business and have 50 to 75% of the cost paid for. Not alone, it's free money. Dominion is Chicagoland's local solar company. Local, that matters. Contact them now and set up a free assessment. Many cut their electric bill in half. You can even watch your savings in real time. Illinois, get 50 to 75% of your cost paid for. Pay full price later or get 50 to 75% of the cost of solar for your home and start saving money now. Dominion Solar. Go to IllinoisSolarRebates.com. IllinoisSolarRebates.com.
Dan Proft here. Did you know that only 1 in 4 family businesses make a successful transition to the second generation? Not the greatest odds. Early and well-designed planning is the key to a successful transition of wealth. For estate and business succession planning, including asset protection for your family, you need to speak with the planning professionals at the Polsinelli Law Firm. Polsinelli is a national full-service law firm with over 850 attorneys in 22 cities, focusing on middle-market companies like yours. Their estate planning attorneys have worked with hundreds of clients to successfully transition wealth and the family-owned business. Contact Polsinelli and start a conversation on how they can assist you and your family. Polsinelli's Chicago office is located at 150 North Riverside Plaza in downtown Chicago. Visit them online at polsinelli.com. That's polsinelli.com. Or call attorney William Long, who's my estate planning attorney, directly at 312-873-2996. That's 312-873-2996 for William Long.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
5:37. Let's get an update on the roads this early morning in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
On the inbound Eisenhower, traffic is stop and go from Des Plaines Avenue to before Austin. 2 right lanes are closed with car fire. 35 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 31. It's heavy Pulaski to Costner. Crash in the left lane. The Edens, the Kennedy look good. Inbound Stevenson, tight Ashland to the Ryan. It's 1 or 2 minute delay. Inbound Ryan has a 2-minute delay coming into downtown. Bishopport a 3-minute delay. Stony Island to the merge. Tollways are okay right now. In Elmhurst, crash on County Line at Grand Avenue. Starting today in Des Plaines. There'll be a closure of Des Plaines River Road. Rail crossing work between Prairie and Pearson until mid-July. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Partly sunny and 65 today. Currently 50. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. And with Dan and Amy and listeners in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't miss the online auction in Elk Grove Village, featuring hundreds of lots of tooling, forklifts, maintenance, and shop support equipment. Ends this Wednesday and Thursday. Bid online at hilcoind.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
Daddy, what do taxes pay for?
Oh, why, everything. Policemen, trees, sunshine.
On AM 560.
And let's not forget the folks who just don't feel like working, God bless them.
The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, who are in Mexico. You can call us on the turnkey.pro answer line at 312-642-5600. And let's go to Craig from Mount Greenwood. Hi, Craig.
Hey, how's it going, Bruce? And hey, Sean.
How are you?
Enjoy listening to you guys
Thank you.
place Amy and Dan. But here's the thing. You said you were afraid of that Budovich. You know, have a fear there.
Oh.
And that is well-founded. I'll tell you why. That guy there, he is a real snake. And the way he uses the Bible and trying to use Bible verses to basically attack Trump and make himself seem, like he's a godly man trying to get like some Trump voters. He's a real hypocrite and dishonest. He twists the scriptures up in a way where it's not saying what he says it says.
Well, like
And
everybody else.
That's why he
Hey, Craig, the devil can quote scripture.
I mean,
Yeah.
every 4 years, every
Thank
2
you, Craig.
years,
Appreciate
every
it.
politician does the same thing.
Hey,
They're all men of God. They're all represent God,
Remember,
every single one
Governor
of them.
Quinn used to do that
here's-
all the time.
Oh, they're
He
sickening.
always quoted the Bible.
Who's the other one that looks like, it's Paint Chips Pat Quinn. You're right. He should be on a lead-based paint disclosure with that head of his. Anyway, you know what's drives me nuts about the whole thing where they're mixing God in, and when it comes from a pro-abortion party, I find it. I'm not particularly. You're never going to catch me in church. That's not my thing. I don't like, people. God's salesmen. I love God. I don't like the people that
You
sell
have a
them.
direct relationship with God.
Well, that's what
Right.
to me. That's what it's
No,
about. I don't.
You
What do I
cut
need?
out the middleman.
I need some fruitcake in the middle telling me what he thinks. I'll never forget. I'm Catholic. I was supposed to. I denounced it years ago, but I was Catholic, and we were going to get married. You have to go to that pre-Cana nonsense.
Because you just wrote off 86% of our
I've
audience.
got a guy.
Go ahead.
I've
Yeah.
got a guy who's sworn to celibacy
Mm-hmm.
and sworn to poverty, telling me about marriage. Are you out of your
Well, but
mind?
here's the thing.
It's like getting tips on how to juggle from a guy with no arms. What the hell are you doing?
Notice, the Jew is now going to defend the Catholic Church, and it's. Here's the thing, but he hears about a lot of problems from parishioners like you, so he probably gets good knowledge, and as kind of an outsider who is celibate. Maybe he can offer
Dr.
some good
Phil
counsel.
without a cross-eyed wife.
I don't think you have to be able to. You have to do it in order to be able to counsel people on it. Otherwise, the only people who would be qualified to be president of the United States would be former military leaders. And au contraire, we want a civil commander-in-chief.
I'm not a fan of religious salesmen. That's all they are. You want to call yourself whatever. It's like we were talking about yesterday. The audacity of Jesse Jackson, Reverend. Get the hell out of here. This guy's knocking down waitresses like Fredo in Vegas. You're a reverend driving around in your Escalade pretending to be a businessman? Another scoundrel.
Well, Jimmy Swaggart did the same thing.
Yeah,
Of
sure.
course they do this. But that just – okay, so they're hypocrites. Big deal.
And
That's why they have to preach, because they know how difficult it is.
And you guys too, with the long beards and the diamonds and everything. Get the hell out of here. It's all a bunch
so
of
now
nonsense.
an anti-Semitic slur. We're all diamond merchants.
Right. I'm throwing them all in.
Alienated the 86% of the audience that's Catholics, the Jewish conservatives who also listen to this show.
How about the Mormons in their burlap underpants?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
All right,
let's get them all in.
You've all gotten rid of 110% of the people because, you appeal to the libertarians. You're a socially liberal and you're a libertarian, and that is basically like Louis Aparicio's home run #1 on All-Star Baseball.
Do you know
played
why?
that.
Our
It's that thin.
Our language has been so bastardized that we do not understand. If you truly believe in the Constitution the way all the pretend conservatives say they do, if you truly believe in the principles and the Declaration of Independence and what America is, you have but no choice to be liberal. It is none of your business what your neighbor does, period. And in that vein, his wealth is not to be coveted and used for your needs.
Well, that's
so you have but no choice. There is no latitude. You either believe in it or you don't. And that's the problem, is we all pretend we're one thing when we're really the other.
All right, I love the doctrinaire libertarianism. Thank you.
It's just about reality.
Yawn.
It's Americanism, not
I'm thinking
libertarianism.
about a 56-cent piece of Portillo's chocolate cake. And I'm going to intuit because I won't actually read the story.
Like the book?
The story obviously is that Portillo's is celebrating its 56th anniversary today. So you can get a 56.
He doesn't own it anymore. He's that smart son of a gun that he was.
Of course he
Started with
doesn't.
one
Nobody.
truck.
You know who owns Ben and
sold it to
Jerry's?
for $1 billion plus.
You know who owns Ben and Jerry's?
Two guys named Bert and Ernie?
Unilever, a dying European conglomerate. And later on, we're going to be talking to Tyler Cowen, who's written a book called A Love Letter to an American Anti-Hero, Big Business. He makes the case for big business in the United States, and I only mention this right now because the United States has the fastest growing big businesses, and they account for so much of the wealth and so many of the jobs in this company.
Government.
No, they're very, very good. They're virtuous, but the European companies, all their big conglomerates like Unilever and Nestle's, those are old and dying. So, that's how I tied it in.
But there's no such thing as pro-big or pro-small business. It's pro-business. The ability of a business to bastardize government and use it to create a monopoly, it doesn't make it good. Go ahead.
Let's go to Candace, who used to live, when I first talked to Candace, she used to live in Chicago. Didn't like it that I'm sorry?
She don't like it.
What, Bruce? What about it? Everybody keeps mentioning I moved. Big deal. Do you blame me?
No, not at all. I was just setting it up.
By the way, let's do that thing for Quinville. He's going
Joe
to Florida
Quinville.
now. If you need a broker in South Florida, you call me, baby. Liberty Real Estate Services.
And now he gets to be domiciled in Florida and pay Florida taxes.
And I don't know anything about sports, so I'm never going to bother him like those fat drunk slobs at the tavern. You should have played Kaminsky in the place. Get the hell
I didn't
out
watch
of
a Blackhawk game this year. Candace, yes, you'd like to make a point. Yes.
This Boudelet guy from Indiana, I don't think it's going to work out very well for him because we just had a race here where they experimented with the gay smear against a Christian, and it backfired big. And their Eric Holder, female helmet head judge, lost by 6,000 points.
I see. Oh, really? So you think?
Yeah.
Well, but the millennials are coming to the fore. They're going to take over for the old people. Like, I don't know how old you are, Candace. You sound very young to me, but
she's in the prime of her
life.
life.
But the older people, we're going to die off, and the millennials are going to take over, and the brave new world that they're going to inherit will, make it illegal to be a Christian, or an old-time Christian. Don't you agree? That's the trend. I mean, a couple of years ago, you never would have thought that gay marriage would be the law of the land until the High Sparrow Anthony Kennedy made it so, right?
Well, that's why I give money to TP USA and PragerU, because I hope that people actually stop sending their kids to college. I don't understand why they are still
You're
sending them.
You're on the wrong side of history, Candace.
Well, there's two
but
things.
Thanks for joining us.
First
Appreciate
of all,
it.
in Wisconsin, you're really gonna point out voting habits. You just elected the incredible Mr. Limpid communist version as your governor.
But they've got a conservative judge who's going to be on the Supreme Court of Wisconsin. So there's always
just see,
hope.
it's always the same game.
There's always a silver lining to the
Nobody's
dark
got the
cloud.
principles. Nobody.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
It's Health Quest Radio, Chicagoland's longest-running health, news, and science show with your host, Dr. David Kolbaba.
You know, people who age slower live longer. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. We can compare your biologic age with your chronologic age to determine how fast you're aging. Just a few seconds to safely scan for those advanced glycation end products that cause premature aging. And I'll pay for your first assessment. That's right, your first one is free. Then we'll give you a few things to do and retest in 60 days. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. But you gotta call our HealthQuest radio hotline at 800-794-1855. That's 800-794-1855. First one free if you make that call right now. Some conditions and restrictions do apply. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. Call 800-794-1855. It's HealthQuest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Are your kids purchasing a new home? Then you need to contact your trusted local lender, Team Hochberg. Not your bank, not an online lender, and definitely not your realtor's preferred lender. Jen lived at home to pay off student loans and save for a down payment. Jen began her property search online and was inundated with calls and text messages from realtors and their preferred lenders she didn't know. Confused and overwhelmed, Jen asked her dad for advice, and he strongly recommended Team Hochberg, the only lender he trusted to help Jen secure financing on her first home. Team Hochberg answered Jen's questions, approved her to purchase a home, and introduced her to a Team Hochberg realtor. Locating and financing a home won't be stressful if you call Team Hochberg, your trusted local real estate team who'll always look out for your and your kids' financial best interest. Now, at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg helped Amy and thousands of AM 560 listeners, but they can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1124061.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com. What would you be willing to spend to make an often frustrating aspect of your business run smoothly, perfect, hassle-free? Yep, talking about IT, networks, computers. Sure, it would be great to hire an entire IT department, but that would be expensive. There's salaries, benefits, space for new employees, equipment. Nope, not going to happen. Or could it? For only $7.95 a month, you can make your IT issue a thing of the past with Turnkey IT. Just like your own in-house IT department, but better. Turnkey makes it happen. They make it secure, and they make it smart. You'll be set up for success and in front of the many technical issues that can overwhelm a business. Turnkey becomes your IT department and help with all your daily IT issues, plus preventative steps to keep your business going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know where you stand with your technology.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros, so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. And, there's a lot of Tucker Carlson stuff that I don't like, especially when he accuses George Bush II and the neocons of having lied about weapons of mass destruction. The Rob Simpson Commission showed that there was no lying. There was bad information, but there wasn't a lie. But he does, and he should know better. But last night, Tucker Carlson actually had a pretty good guest. He had Chris Kobach on, guy from Kansas, and he just came up with 3 simple solutions to help the immigration crisis that we have right now. To wit, you want to detain families together as long as it's necessary. You don't want to split them apart. That's bad public. It's not humanitarian to do it. But you get FEMA to bring these trailers in, and you have processing centers where you get the immigration judges to come in quickly, and then if these asylum seekers, these faux asylum seekers are found out, they're shipped back on a plane to their country. And also, you don't let illegal aliens send remittances back to Mexico unless Mexico is going to allow these people who are coming up from Guatemala to seek asylum in Mexico, not cross Mexico to go to the United States. Now, those are 3 simple solutions there that Kirstjen Nielsen wasn't doing. And, how about we hop to it? Disagree with that, Sean?
FEMA spends $18.4 billion a year. $18.4 billion a year. During every calamity, national disaster, it's always about the trailers. Where the hell are the trailers? I don't think they have any trailers. I think they got 3 guys that are scamming the fracking money. That's exactly what's going on. And here's another thing. I, little old me, have decided how you can win support for border wall / security from the Democrats. You ready?
Yeah.
They don't talk about this, but in Mexico, it is illegal to own a gun. Did you know that?
Did not know that.
Illegal. Yet, they have a plethora of guns to choose from. In fact...
Well, they got them from our administration, Fast and Furious.
And that's how you get the Democrats. No, I'm serious.
Oh.
90%, and these are the lowest percentages, of all guns held by cartels and illegals, owning guns, Mexican citizens, I call them illegals who are breaking the Mexican law, are from America. So the Democrats hate guns. Hate guns, right? We all know that. Don't you care about the Mexicans getting illegal guns?
Are you going to revoke the Second Amendment in Mexico?
Have a barrier.
Oh, I see.
To protect the Mexicans from themselves in the way they want to protect the conservative from himself.
It's a great argument. And also, the Democrats of course, did a 180 on immigration because, you can get quotes from the Democrats from like 10 or 12 years ago in which they were all about border security. It's only recently that they've decided to have open borders. But now they're doing a 180 on their 180 because even Obama, a few days ago, he was in Berlin, and he said, we need people to learn the language once they come here. They need to be assimilated. That sounds racist to me from Obama. Also, Bernie recently just said, don't give us your tired, you poor, you huddled masses. Don't give him. Yeah, he's even going bad, and this is a masterstroke by Bernie, because if he blunts the immigration issue, remember, Trump wants to run on immigration, but if Bernie, who right now is the front runner, and he's raising a ton of money, far and away the leader in raising money, and he's not going anywhere except for the Democratic nomination. If he gets on a stage with Trump, and Trump's trying to argue immigration, Bernie's going to say, well, I'm not for open borders.
What about trade?
I'm not for open borders.
What about trade? They have the exact same trade policy.
Right, then there'll be the similarities.
I said
the same guys.
In 2016,
they're the same guys.
The similarity between Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump are about 80% of their policies.
Right, that's what
so
the merging of it's the populist merger.
So who can wrap the flag? The question is, and this is the problem we have, the American has quietly become the socialist.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
you know how much similarity there is between Tucker Carlson and the person that he complains about all the time, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The Onion had a great story. Tucker Carlson challenges AOC to a date. He wanted to go on a date with her.
I'll tell you something that bothered me when you started about Tucker Carlson, and it bothers me a little bit because you're a very brilliant guy.
Thank you so much.
However, why would you believe anything that is used as a catalyst to create a windfall of trillions of dollars to a very small section of our country, and in perpetuity start a conflict where only a few benefit? So you were talking about whether Bush lied or not about the...
He did not lie about it. That was not a lie.
I absolutely and unequivocally believe that information was cooked
How do
by
you
our
know
intelligence
that?
agencies.
How do you know that it was
Because the benefit of these organizations after that
So
information.
you don't believe the Rob Simpson commission?
I believe I believe they gave us information that had us. We're in war, brother, for 17 years.
Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, that Sean Thompson also, just for a threshold consideration right here.
We didn't take off from the moon.
We didn't land on the moon.
Where's the
And
gas tanks?
yesterday, this man named Bidenstein, this is his quote. I only got 2 sound bites this morning. This is from this guy who was interviewed because Brett Baer was at the Space Center yesterday. So he's interviewing this guy, and he asked Bidenstein, who's a NASA administrator, are we going back to the moon?
So the President of the United States has given us an amazing charge. He gave us what we call Space Policy Directive 1, which says we're going to go to the moon differently than we've ever done it before. This time when we go to the moon, it's going to be sustainable. In other words, we're going to stay.
No, we never went to the moon, according to Sean Thompson. And why didn't we go to the moon?
We lied. Nixon was a liar. He wanted to beat the Russians.
And how do you know that we didn't go to the moon?
Where were the gas tanks on the little thing? How did you take off?
From the moon. How did you get back? Do you know the moon actually has this ice water or water ice, whatever, which is used for rocket fuel? Maybe they took some of it and made the rocket fuel.
I don't know that, and neither do you. You're spreading lies.
I know, because I know physics better than Richard Dawkins.
You're a Bush drinker, gullible.
The moon has 1/6 the Earth's gravity.
Oswald
all
didn't
you
shoot
do
Kennedy.
is just fall off the moon, and then you land on Earth.
Oh, that's how it works? Sure
I
it does,
believe
Mighty
so.
Mouse. Yeah, go right ahead.
So Sean Thompson believes we lied, Bush lied, and people died, which is a leftist trope.
No, I
and
believe
he also
Bush
doesn't believe
lied
we
and
landed
people
on the moon.
got rich.
Hey, we got to go to the newsroom right now for a restoration of sanity, and here's Mike Scott.
A man accused of attacking 2 siblings with a butcher knife in Sleepy Hollow. Man shot outside a Secretary of State facility in Chicago Heights. The investigation continues there. Cubs beat the Pirates in the home opener, and the Rays topped the White Sox. WIND Chicago news time is 6 o'clock.
It's time we had an uncomfortable conversation. A conversation about race, about crime, about politics, about all the things that divide us so that we can find the things that might unite us. That's what AM 560's own Joe Walsh and Maze Jackson from WVON 1690 AM will do each week on their podcast, Uncomfortable Conversations. Check it out at 560theanswer.com every Thursday and catch Maze with Joe Thursday evening at 6:30 right here on AM 560. The Answer. What's happening here, there, everywhere? We've got The Answer. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Skies are fair. We have 50 degrees at 6:01 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. Charges are pending against a man accused of stabbing 2 teenage siblings and sexually assaulting one of them during a home invasion that took place in northwest suburban Sleepy Hollow. Police this morning say the suspect entered that home on Saratoga Parkway through an unlocked door, then attacked a 19-year-old woman. That woman was sexually assaulted, then stabbed. The brother was stabbed when he came to her defense. The attacker then entered another home nearby and confronted 2 other people who were not injured. Chicago officials are holding off on a vote on 2 massive city projects at the behest of the mayor-elect, Lori Lightfoot.
So we need to make sure that there's enough transparency so that people in the neighborhoods who are going to be most directly affected feel like they understand what the nature of the project is, the impacts on them, and that their voices are heard.
City Council Finance Committee delayed voting yesterday on $2 billion worth of property tax subsidies for the Lincoln Yards and the 78 proposal. The man accused of posing as a missing Aurora boy in Newport, Kentucky, will face a judge today in Cincinnati. Brian Reaney will learn whether bond will be set after he was charged with lying to federal agents. The FBI says Reaney is a 23-year-old convicted felon from Cleveland. Striking Chicago Symphony Orchestra musicians have rejected a contract proposal management described as a last, best, and final offer. Bail set at $3 million for a man accused of stabbing his own brother-in-law to death in Wheaton. Pi Lott appeared in DuPage County Court yesterday on charges of murder. Police are looking for a person who shot a man outside of a Secretary of State facility in Chicago Heights. That facility is on 209th Street. The victim was waiting for a driving test. Riders who use Amtrak in Indiana are losing some of their trains. Amtrak yesterday saying it's canceling the Hoosier State Line, which runs 4 times a week between Indianapolis and Chicago. Indiana lawmakers refuse to include a subsidy for those trains, but will continue to subsidize the Cardinal Line. It already runs 3 times a week between Indy and Chicago. Cubs beat the Pirates 10-0 in their home opener at Wrigley Field. Rays over the White Sox 5-1. For the first time in school history, the Virginia Cavaliers are NCAA men's basketball champions, beating Texas Tech. The news, a service of La Quinta by Wyndham, now part of Wyndham Rewards. Earn and redeem Wyndham Rewards points for free nights at La Quinta and thousands of other Wyndham Rewards properties worldwide. Book direct at lq.com. 6:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity reacts to the Mueller report.
If the lying, abusively corrupt news media is not held accountable for all of their lies, all of their breathless, hysterical reporting, now we know based on nothing in many cases, they believed what they wanted to believe, and it became a psychotic rage.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5. On AM 560, The Answer.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments. Clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Message and data rates may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the last time you ever have to worry about hair loss. Because Bosley is the real deal. They're giving women and men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started is a single text message. You'll get an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card when you text TRUST to 85850. Bosley will show you, for free, how great your hair could look. You'll also see, for free, why you're losing hair and how to get it back. Women and men all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part? Bosley has permanent solutions to hair loss. You'll love what they'll do for your hair. So drop what you're doing long enough to send a text. Get your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting TRUST to 85850. Don't forget, that's TRUST to 85850.
When you could use help closing your books and need additional staff, it's time to call Accountemps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis, and fast. Call today. Accountemps, a Robert Half company.
6:06, time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. Let's get a check of the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In Glenview, Lake Avenue is blocked west of Milwaukee Avenue due to a head-on crash. Eden Spur has heavy traffic. The Tri-State to Kingston, Eden itself still okay. Kennedy, tight Cumberland to Lawrence. 25 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Up on 21, inbound Eisenhower's jammed. Manheim to Core Austin, there was a car fire. 2 right lanes are blocked. 58 minutes. 390 to downtown. Outbound 37, delays from Central to past Austin. Stevenson 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. There are delays on northbound I-55 approaching I-80, crash in the left lane. Bryan is 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. Before 20 minutes, 80-94 to the Verge. It's traffic. I'm Chip Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
Today, partly sunny with a high 65. Colder tonight, increasing cloudiness, low 35. Breezy with periods of rain tomorrow, high 41. Cloudy, breezy Thursday, shower and thunderstorm, the high Thursday, 53. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 50 at O'Hare. Next news at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next, but with Dan and Amy in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Your whole generation ruined everything. You know that?
Ding, 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 ding. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, who are in Mexico. Sean, this is how much of a sucker I am, a soft touch I am. We've got this guy James on the line from Westmont, and we shouldn't even be talking about this anymore. I wasted some time, some precious time last segment.
I got to argue about gas now.
Just to prove that, you're a conspiracy theorist, so that's why you believe Bush lied and people died, and you joined Tucker Carlson in that belief when the Rob Simpson Commission showed that there wasn't any lie at all.
Yeah,
it was
okay.
bad information.
They had no
but I
interest
just
in
wanted
that.
to show that you're just a conspiracy theorist because you don't believe that we actually landed on the moon.
Of course we
We've
didn't.
got James from Westmont to counter that because he actually does believe in science. Yes, James. Go ahead.
Good morning, you two. Yes, Sean. Since there's 1/6 gravity on the moon, that is, in relation to Earth, you do not need a huge fuel tank to lift off the moon's surface.
Well, you saw
And
the
you do not
pictures.
le-
Where was
not-
the gas tank, Major Nelson? Where was the gas tank?
It's in the bottom of where they were sitting on the vehicle.
Oh, okay.
So-
I'm convinced now. Then they drove back like it was a Volkswagen Passat.
James,
you got me.
James, I want to tell you, don't you think I'm very smart, James? Because I was actually proffering, if you just would allow me to, congratulate myself, let me pat myself on the back, James, because what I had said earlier was, and I was totally making this up, I was just saying, well, all you have to do is fall off the moon because it's only 1/6 the Earth's, of the weight that you have on the Earth, and then you fall into the Earth's gravitational pull. You're telling me that's exactly what the
You two
situation
solved
is,
this. I got a
right?
70-year-old guy in a knockoff Walmart golf shirt and some guy on the phone who fixes golf carts. You guys solved the
This is
crisis.
Old Navy, not Walmart. Go ahead, James. You get the last word.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, don't forget, as you hurtle into space, you're going around 20,000 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So you do not need a lot of fuel to
Live long
actually
and prosper.
fly. All you need is a little fuel to keep you in the trajectory from one direction to the other.
All right,
So
James,
there's,
last question.
yes.
Last question.
Sure.
Gus Grissom, does he get a bad rap because he screwed the pooch? Your call, yes or no, James?
Yeah, he did get a bad rap.
What? He screwed the pooch. He screwed the landing. And his wife didn't get to meet Jackie. You saw the right stuff or read it. Thanks, James. Thank you so much for a little bit of science there.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go to Carl from the South Side. I hope you are anti-science, Carl, to balance it.
Okay.
Oh,
I'd never do this.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. We have a motion for intervention here. Here is Keith Conrad, producer.
Look at how ready he is. Look at him. He's all fired
and
up.
By the way, let me get his cred. Hold on a second, Carl. A little cred from Keith because Keith, first of all, has watched every Twilight Zone episode.
There you go.
Oh, at least 3 or 4 times.
So he knows about.
He's got a costume. He's at Rosemont dressed as Chewie. He must know.
He's a Comic-Con guy, whatever. So yes, please. And was your
my
dad in NASA or something?
My dad's a rocket scientist. You know the GPS
It
thing?
doesn't take a rocket scientist
You're
to
welcome
do
for
your
that.
job here, but go ahead.
Thank you for that. I've been told that, ironically enough.
My dad's a bricklayer. You want me to build you a 3-flat? Go ahead.
There we go.
Gus did not screw the pooch. It was proven that the hatch did blow. And interestingly enough, the saddest thing in history, I'm going to really bring down the tone here.
Sure.
So the review board actually looked at, you know, when Gus Grissom landed and the hatch just blew, they determined that it actually did just blow, and so that's when they were designing the Apollo spacecraft. They decided that they would make an inward opening hatch that was more difficult to just randomly open, and that's why Gus Grissom died.
So the estate of Tom
Yeah.
What the irony.
Yeah.
That was like January 26th, the day before the big snowstorm in Chicago.
Exactly.
67. So the irony that Gus Grissom, who didn't screw the pooch, was actually they looked at what happened and got the technology right or didn't, and then he winds up dying because it blows. That's horrible.
They made Apollo an inward opening hatch. And then after the fire, they changed.
Do me a favor, as soon as you get off here, forget about producing duties. Please go sue the estate of Tom Wolfe, who wrote The Right Stuff, all about screwing the pooch, because we owe reparations to the estate of Gus Grissom.
Well,
I feel so bad. I'm glad we set the record straight.
The time period that he was talking about, they would have thought that he did. So
I get it, but now
he didn't.
But now we got revisionist history. Thanks so much.
See?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Forget about the fact that there's an election in Israel today.
Yeah.
There's immigration problems. Can I take Carl right now?
All right, go ahead.
Carl from the South Side. Hi, Carl.
I got a really serious question.
Sure.
Sean, why are you using that name? It's obvious you are Alec Baldwin.
Yes,
thank you. Down to the, we got to go to break.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm the one who says
I never want to go to break, brother.
You are Alec Baldwin using a fake name.
Exactly. Thank you, Carl, for adding to the tomfoolery here. Bob from Buffalo Grove.
You got to hang up on Carl
I got
first.
to hang up on Carl. How do I do that? Okay, Bob. Good morning, Bob.
I got a good trivia question since you're talking about the lunar landing.
Yeah.
Who is Margaret Hamilton?
What does that have to do with the lunar landing? I know
I'm
who
going to
she
say
is.
NASA fluffer.
No, she was
right.
the Wicked Witch of the West.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
I'm back.
Oh, wait a minute. Keith is back on the show now.
All right, Keith. I mean, does he have the paperwork to
for
be doing
an encore?
You guys there?
Margaret Hamilton wrote the code for the Apollo guidance computer. Thank you.
That same Margaret Hamilton?
Yeah.
The Wicked Witch of the West?
No.
Oh, it's a different Margaret Hamilton.
Yeah.
Well, I figured that she'd be able to do it because look at the aerospace technology that she used to fly that broom around in that 1939 movie. Thanks so much, Bob, for your call. All right, we killed another segment here.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm going to get, I wouldn't be surprised if Marcus, who runs this place and is vacationing in Mexico, doesn't call in right now and just fire us on
And
the
then
spot.
tomorrow I will bring a picture of Marilyn Monroe in my 1985 Riviera, and you can think we went to the prom together. Okay?
Okay. I promise we're going to talk about very important things like the IRGC. You know what that is?
I don't know. Has it got Ginsburg in it? Is it Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
It's close enough. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
You're fired.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
What is certainty? Certainty is the passionate commitment to fulfill every promise. Certainty is 4imprint, a caring, trusted team of promotional product experts, minding every detail to ensure your logo will look perfect on everything from apparel, drinkware to trade show traffic stoppers, and hot tech. All delivered on time, every time, with the promise of your satisfaction guaranteed. So, what does certainty bring? Promotional items exceeding expectations, a buzz of excitement for your team and your customers, a pep in your step, a fist pump, a whoop, a tingle, a grin, a laugh, or even one quiet word that no one will ever hear. Yes! Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. That's the number 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
Another school year is about to wrap up, and you need to start thinking about what activities your son or daughter will be involved with during summer break. You want them to have fun this summer, but at the same time have some structure to be prepared for the next school year. Introduce them to St. John's Northwestern Experience in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin with Summer OPS, Opportunities for personal success. 5 intensive weeks of learning and training. Young men and women grades 7 to 12 get an opportunity to advance academically in the structured and supportive environment of a military boarding school, and at the same time, be involved in an exciting summer adventure camp that inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, leadership skills, spiritual and character development, and athletics and wellness. Camp St. John's Northwestern for your son or daughter with full boarding or day camp programs. Get more info at 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET or online at sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. If you need windows, call the exterior experts.
Call Crumweedy.
Mark Olson and Greg Olson of Crumweedy. Well, they run a third-generation family business that's been doing Chicagoland exteriors now since 1953. And for them, it's all about trust, and they truly share your values. Why windows from Crumweedy? Now, Crumweedy windows are not offered anywhere else in Chicagoland. They are exclusive, and that's why they can offer a lifetime material and labor installation guarantee. A lifetime. That's a great investment for your home. Windows from Crumweedy are Energy Star rated, unlike most other windows. Also, the vinyl windows are 100% virgin vinyl. You're getting quality windows with a lifetime material and labor installation. Now, if your windows are needy,
call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. The name is not easy to spell. Just remember this. WindowsAreNeedy.com. WindowsAreNeedy.com.
Feeling sore from working out hard, maybe doing some spring cleaning? Or do you want to boost your immune system? Well, if either of those interest you, then you should try Balance of Nature. It is 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies, all in a single capsule. No preservatives, no dyes. And you hear the testimonials here on the air all the time. And let me tell you, they are real. Okay, folks? And the price of fruits and veggies is about to go up. But if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price for the fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. But you've got to use the promo code Chicago. Use that when you call. And the number there is 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560. The Answer.
Buenos morning. Dan and Amy coming to you from the Maraval Distinct Luxury Residences in Nuevo Vallarta, which is next to Puerto Vallarta.
Buenos dias.
Yeah, that's what I said. And we're pleased to be joined by returnees, Jonathan and Jennifer Tyson, straight out of Wichita, Kansas.
Yes.
They're back, and they're from Chicago originally. This is the fun part about the show these days is we get listeners and callers from all over the country because they're all Chicago expats, and these are 2 of them.
Yeah.
We've made some more, too. We have 5 members of Jonathan's family that are moving in a month
From
to Wichita.
Illinois to
That's right.
Yeah.
Out of Egypt, getting out.
Yes.
They're moving, in May.
What was the underlying cause?
Escape the Pharaoh.
Mass exodus.
They I don't know, a tax on everything, tax on the taxes. The tax on the taxes, I think, is what did them in. That's when they got really frustrated and wanted to move.
They're up in Lake County?
Boone, I think.
Boone County.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
They're moving out because of it just doesn't make sense financially to be here anymore and then be close to you.
It does make sense to move close to family, of course, but they're tired of it. They're tired of it, and they understand that they're not going to make anything off of the sale of their house, and they did everything they were supposed to do, put all the money into their house. They did everything right.
Did they break even?
I don't know.
Basically, owning a home in Illinois at this point is worse than renting a home. I mean, there's nothing out of it.
And just to the quick compare, just to close the loop on this. So, what's it going to be like for them in Wichita? You know, what they're paying versus property taxes as compared to Illinois.
A third.
Property taxes will be a third.
A third, and the house is actually another 50% bigger.
For about the same price point.
Less price point.
So less. The home cost is less.
There's a
property
pool in the
taxes
backyard.
Okay.
A golf course.
Yeah, living on a golf course.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
No.
It would be good to have them, and they can live by us. We're so fun.
So do you want to give us the Wichita? Of course you are. Do you want to give us the Wichita Chamber of Commerce speech? How are you liking Wichita?
Well,
we have internet and electricity now.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Because it's powered by wind, so we can.
Honey, can I watch TV? Is the wind blowing? Do you do that? Do you do that, Jonathan?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So no, honestly, it's not somewhere I thought I would ever live, but it's a tier 3 city, and it's really good. Everything is very, very close. Great schools. It's wonderful.
I was going to ask you, are they in public or private school?
One in public, one in private.
So you love one of your kids?
One got kicked out of private. And
right.
so one's in public, one's in
And a
private.
very special Dan and Amy.
Right.
Taking it down a notch, as we have been with all of our guests.
Right.
This is like a
Putting
counseling
the Tyson
session.
family back together on a very special Dan and Amy.
He's doing okay. It's all right.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Stuff happens. I get it. I'm a parent.
All right,
I'm here for you.
Stop touching the guests. We've told you about this.
Okay.
We've told you about
okay.
it. Yeah.
She's binding me. It's okay.
So you guys have been on our Passport to Paradise trips before. The last one you went on was
at Punta Cana in
Right.
Dominican Republic. Yep,
Yeah.
it was great.
That's
it was
awesome.
great.
And how are you liking Nuevo Vallarta so far?
I love it. The room is palatial. It's enormous. And we're having people over. We're gonna have a big. I'm sending out Evites, and we're gonna have.
I
we're
thought
gonna
the party
entertain.
was going to be at my place because I have a penthouse.
We're
with
gonna.
a pool
Yeah,
on the
we're gonna
roof.
do.
Yeah,
we're
but
gonna do both.
we're here 5 days, so you're going to have more. Yeah.
We're gonna do both, honestly. But I think my party's gonna be better than yours.
We talked a little. Amy and I talked a little bit about this before, but since I was sitting next to you two on the flight out, I'd just like to get your perspective because you two didn't strike me as the best flyers I've ever seen when we hit a little bit of turbulence, and so your perspective on that.
You threw me under the bus. That's not what happened. That's not at all what happened. Can I tell you what really happened now? All right, so I did really good. Did I scream? Did I say, oh God, oh God? No,
but there was like blood spurts
No,
below the window.
I dropped a Bloody Mary. So just to be clear, I just dropped a drink.
Well, everyone's drink went flying as we were thrown up in the air and then came down.
It wasn't great.
I hate flying.
Yeah,
I'll tell
John
you.
didn't do as well as I did.
No, I ripped the arms out both the seats.
But
you were
can
sitting next to me. You remember that?
I did.
Yes.
You put your headphones on, you laid back, you closed your eyes, and I thought, now's not the time to play a little practical joke on Jonathan.
No, ready to go be with Jesus.
Yeah.
Surprise them and say, hey, we're the 737 MAX 8.
Okay.
Or there's a man on the wing. No. No.
The Man on the Wing, the Twilight Zone piece, that would have been a good one.
I was in my special place right then.
But
yeah.
This is ironic. You made me feel better because I said, I know.
It's just what I do. Don't make a big thing about it.
First time anyone ever said that.
Yeah.
But you did. You made me feel better because you said, it's an air pocket. It's only an air pocket. It's just an air pocket. You're going to be fine. Right. Yeah.
And then I said we're all going to die. And then so that sort of cut against the...
You were comforting. And honestly, take back what you said. Take it back.
I take it back. You did wonderfully,
Well, I was in
as
the
did
front
I.
of the plane, unlike you guys, in the back of the plane, and had those girls screaming and crying behind me because one was abruptly woken up from a nap. So she thought she was. I was like, and she was screaming, and all of them started crying. I said, "Relax, we're through it. We're gonna be okay." And I couldn't believe that I did that because I'm normally a spaz.
Well, it's not a big
So
deal,
kudos to me,
although,
and
Jonathan,
it's
I
okay.
understand you have already rented a car for the drive back to Wichita.
Yes, I have actually. And anybody that wants to come in, we'll split the cost. That's good. We'll make it across the border. We're in. Whatever it takes.
The first American citizen to file an asylum application to get back.
Or to jump the wall. Yes.
And they'll ask you why, and say I had a really rough flight on the way here.
Yeah, exactly. Flying sucks. Absolutely. And who wouldn't let me back in the country?
Economic migrant from Nuevo Vallarta. Yeah, right, exactly. Jonathan and Jennifer Tyson from Wichita, Kansas. Thanks so much for joining us. Dan and Amy coming to you from the Marival Distinct Luxury Residences in Nuevo Vallarta.
It's like
on
a
our
hot,
Passport
steaming
to Paradise
cup of
vacation.
information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Did you know that your sump pump is the heart of your basement waterproofing system? Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, president of Permaseal. Do you know how many sump pumps fail? That's right, all of them. It isn't a matter of if, but rather when your pump will fail. Unfortunately, you may not realize there's a problem until your basement is flooded and you've incurred thousands of dollars in damages. At Permaseal, we make it easy to have your sump system evaluated and a reliable pump and battery backup system installed. Call Permaseal today at 800-421-SEAL to schedule your free inspection. We've received many calls from happy customers whose basement and belongings were protected during this past rainy season. But don't take our word for it. Check out our reviews with the Better Business Bureau. You'll see that many of your friends and neighbors are part of the Permaseal family. Get the peace of mind that comes with a dry basement and a healthy home. You know who to call. Permaseal. 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
Your best for being better.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. So, the Trump administration trying to do things to get rid of that Maduro guy in Venezuela. One of the things that we're doing is Cuba, of course, is providing the security for Maduro right now. Cuba's doing this. So the Trump administration, was it yesterday, I guess, made it tougher for Cuban baseball players to come over to the United States, because now under the Obama administration we're allowed to basically pay a ransom to the Cuban government. All right, Sean.
Well, whatever happened to dry foot, wet foot? That was, in my opinion, right. I'm dead serious. My dearest friend in life when I was a kid, and even to this day, is a Cuban immigrant. His father was here in college. Mm-hmm. His mother was back in Cuba. Her family was killed. They were thrown in a boat, the whole 9 yards. I mean, so I've been up on this since I was a child. Because, when you see these people who actually suffer from something, it's a different perspective. Mm-hmm. Then in 2003, which the statute of limitations, you're my attorney, is long gone, I went to Cuba before it was in vogue and popular.
Very good.
And I saw it as a
That's
prison
where you got
island.
all your cigars.
I saw it as the prison island that it is to this day.
Well, you know how they dress things up. They bring the gullible Yankees down there in order to look at their one hospital that is modern. Meanwhile,
the Potemkin Hospital.
Exactly.
And I remember when the original, one of the other proud Illinois governors, scumbag that he was, Ryan gave them not just medical aid, which they could have gotten from any of the other cohort socialist countries that supported him, but he gave them financial aid. And no one talks about this because he liked to go to the National on the third floor in the room I stayed in and pretend he was a man too. So I remember how Illinois politicians helped support the communist dictatorship,
which is
what
the Obama regime continued to do.
The chickens have come home to roost, because the reality is, had they been isolated the way they should have been, which I rarely practice protectionism, but they had nothing to offer us.
Exactly.
Right? Had they bore the ramifications of their stupid policies, they'd be gone anyway.
Right.
Instead, we allowed them to become a drug hub. That's where all the drugs in the 80s came from, with Nicaragua and the other drug guy.
We looked the other way.
So this is bad American policy that continues to exist to this time. And here's the real question when it comes to Maduro. What happened to Paul Krugman, who told me this was this is how the economy was going to work, and all the other Democrat socialists?
As Kevin Williamson always says about Paul Krugman, great Nobel economist, lousy columnist. So he's always been wrong about everything else. I just want to circle back to the point I was trying to make about what's going on with this baseball thing. So now, of course, this is going to be a reversal of the Obama administration policy, and Cuban ball players are going to have to defect again if they want to come to the United States, because we don't want to pay the ransom to the Cuban government. And, of course, the baseball people, like, the guys who write about baseball and are sportscasters like on The Score, like this David Haw yesterday said, this is a terrible policy. And I love when sportscasters who dwell on things like whether Jeff Samardzija threw too many cut fastballs under Don Cooper's tutelage on the White Sox, all of a sudden become policy experts when everybody knows it takes at least 3 or 4 years, like it took me to go from sports.
How about if we have...
So if I just may finish this point
I didn't know there was a point
the
in
actual
this nonsense.
Point
Go ahead.
is we're trying to put the squeeze on Venezuela right now. So you sportscasters who are worried about this reversal of policy, do you want to have these Cuban ball players come here without having to defect, or do you want the future Louis Aparicios of the world and the Omar Vizquels to be starving to death before they're able to fatten up and become shortstops in the American
I think we should
leagues?
have a policy that benefits the common Cuban versus the talented athletic one. And we should stop all foreign aid, which is really what this is. Whether you hide it under some blanket that you think is good for the country or not is irrelevant. We should stop all foreign aid to countries who treat their people in this manner, if we were really principled. But that's not what we do. We like to pay off our enemies so they pretend to be our friends.
Coming up, would you like to be the bunkmate of Lori Loughlin in prison? Sean and I will talk about that after
Lori
the news with Mike Scott.
We're headed towards sunrise. Skies are clear for now, 50 degrees, and a House committee getting set to grill Attorney General William Barr today. when he makes his first congressional appearance since receiving the Mueller report. Parts of the Plains and Upper Midwest are bracing for a healthy, heaping handful of winter beginning today. Some areas could get up to 2 feet of snow. Nebraska, South Dakota, Minnesota. Polls are open in the Israeli elections. NBC's Bill Neely is there.
Many people, though, are sick and tired of him. He's facing allegations of corruption. He may well be indicted on those allegations.
Neely talking about Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who is seeking a 5th term. The conservative Likud party leader is facing a tough challenge from Benny Gantz and his centrist blue-white party. Hashtag 18. That's California Congressman Eric Swalwell, who says he, too, is running for president.
None of that is going to change until we get a leader who is willing to go big on the issues we take on, be bold in the solutions we offer, and do good in the way that we govern. I'm ready to solve these problems. I'm running for president of the United States.
Swalwell joins a crowded Democrat field that includes more than a dozen candidates so far. It's likely that Swalwell is throwing his hat into the ring now, so he will be considered for vice president. Small Business Optimism Index for March is up about 1/10 of a point. Charges pending against a man accused of stabbing 2 teenage siblings and 2 others, sexually assaulting a young woman during a home invasion in Sleepy Hollow. Police are looking for a person who shot a man outside of a Secretary of State facility in Chicago Heights yesterday afternoon. And Chicago sports found the Cubs beating the Pirates 10-0 in the home opener at Wrigley Field. Rays 5-1 winners over the White Sox on the south side. The news service of Maaco. You might not be able to get a new car with your tax refund, but you can make your car feel like it's brand new. All it needs is a great paint job. Come to Maaco today and get your dream paint job during their tax season sales event. 6:34 is our time, and we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Do you own or run a thriving business in the Chicagoland area? Have you overcome obstacles to make your business what it is today? If that's your business, then AM 560 wants to tell your story on the AM 560 Business Tour, presented by Signature Bank. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson will be broadcasting live from businesses all around Chicagoland, telling success stories of thriving, successful businesses. Hey, if that's you, tell us about it. Visit 560theanswer.com/business and submit your information. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
I drive Lyft, and every once in a while I just mention this, and I say, you know, I can only speak for me. I can't say how it's going to make somebody else feel, but for me, this has been the single biggest change for me for anything that I've taken. I've tried, you know, smoothie diets and all kinds of stuff, but this really seems to work.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
637. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 traffic center with Jim Telemonte.
In north suburban Glenview, Lake Avenue is blocked west of Milwaukee Avenue for crash investigation. Inbound Eisenhower is jammed. Manhunt before East Avenue. There was an earlier car fire in the area. 53 minutes from 390 to downtown, outbound 37. Edens runs 21 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy can get 32 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 13 from Montrose, 12 in the Express. Stevenson delays starting first on I-55 from US 6 to I-80 with crash in the left lane. Delays kicking in again around 355 and 48 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 18 minutes, siding to the merge, Bishop 420. It's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. And your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Partly sunny, 65 today. Colder with increasing amounts of clouds, 35 overnight. Only 41 with rain showers tomorrow. Currently 50. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. With Dan and Amy in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Tasty Catering. Companies serious about a successful event choose Tasty Catering. Planning begins at tastycatering.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand it? What the hell is wrong with you people?
On AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, and this just in. You remember Dr. Dow, Sean?
Of course I do. The guy who deserved a beating more than anybody in Chicago
One
on
thing
that
we
day.
do agree on. If you recall, Dr. Dow was on a United Airlines flight. They had overbooked it, as is the airline's want. He refused to get off the flight. Even that, all the other people, took the voucher for a couple of $100, whatever. He refused to get off. They didn't know what to do, so they had two security guys actually had to. The guy threw a tantrum, of course, and they had to drag him off the flight. And apparently got hurt. He busted his nose or whatever. And, he basically complained, Yes, and but the best
Are you
part,
even interrupting Dr. Dow?
Yes, I heard enough of his screaming, and and so the best part was the news conference later by Tom Demetrio, one of the top personal injury attorneys.
Slip and fall.
Well, I mean, when I saw Demetrio standing up there, I didn't realize he was the partner. I thought he was like an associate or something. But he's this shambling guy, a little overweight, whatever. He made it out to be I think he actually said this, I don't want to put words in his mouth, that this was a worse experience for Dr. Dow than when he was one of the boat people who left Vietnam. It was worse than that. And there's a problem when you overstate a case. If you noticed at that press conference, they didn't have Dr. Dow there, of course, because he'd make a bad witness. Because he throws tantrums. And they found the one good relative, a sister or something like that, who actually probably likes him and would make a good witness and was actually fine there. But the whole idea that this guy actually was pulling rank because, he was a doctor. He was a doctor, and he deserves to be on that flight.
He's a witch doctor.
If he's so much more important than anybody else, hey, fly a Gulfstream, buddy. Get first class or whatever. But all of a sudden, you're more important than anybody else.
And look at what your colleague did. Slip and fall. You fall, I feel the pain. Another scoundrel. What I heard it was like $5 million, right?
I don't know what it was. No,
thing?
What I heard was it was 7 figures plus lifetime membership in the Red Carpet Burn Club. I said lifetime membership in the Red Carpet Burn Club.
Yeah. Easy, Shecky Green. What's it, 1962?
Not even a rim shot for that.
Nothing.
All right, Dr. Dow. Anyway, I bring this up because Dr. Dow finally has come out of seclusion because we couldn't wait for this. And he was on Good Morning America this morning, and here is what he had to say.
Have you watched the video?
Later on.
What's that like to watch?
A few months later, after I get my cell phone back, my iPhone back, the frustration, I just cried.
He just cried.
This story has everything you like in it. A guy who screams like a girl, a slip and fall lawyer lying, and a big settlement nobody wants to talk about. This is a Bruce Wolf special. I love it.
I mean, the chutzpah. I mean, it set personal injury lawyers back at least a decade. I'm going to say.
It's the only good thing when one of these Democrats
this guy,
win.
He's a doctor. He's more important than everybody else. No, I don't give up my seat. I throw a tantrum. I get 7 figures.
That's really
that's genius.
As you
wonderful.
look at the trajectory of America and you see the future, the only real good thing is when we get to that communist utopia the Democrats keep telling us, there's no lawyers and there's no crybabies. They weed them all out very early on in the communist experience.
All right. So as we promised, we wanted to talk about Lori Loughlin, and we'll give her some tips, if she's got the top or lower bunk when she goes to prison because she's part of this college admissions scam. She paid like $500,000 or whatever to get her kids into school, and her kids.
What about the guy who took the bribe? What happened to him?
Exactly.
It makes me laugh.
And the colleges. What about the presidents of the university? How about the president of USC?
I'm no defender of that scumbag Blagojevich or the lowlife Jesse Jackson Jr., but they were just recipients of the bribe. What happened to the briber?
Totally.
And then whenever you want it to be, now the briber goes to prison, and the guy who receives it, he gets nothing.
How about this? There's a guy, a convicted felon, former convicted felon named Justin Paperny. He now works as a prison consultant. He recently told CBS that he had been hired by one parent charged in the scheme. While he's in talks with others, he's saying they're scared, and it's, can I survive in prison? And am I cut out for prison? What's most surprising to me, he said, about the first conversation is how many of them didn't view their actions as criminal.
I don't think it is either. I absolutely,
you know what?
sorry.
That is a good question.
I don't think it is either.
What's wrong with paying off to get into school?
I've got a kid going to college, right?
It's a donation.
First of all, it's an absolute joke, right?
Right.
They're mandated. They take everybody who isn't as good because they might be of a minority race, and they're mandated to take the minority. So here you are, the poor blue-eyed devil, trying to get ahead. You did nothing wrong. And all of a sudden, you see your kid getting kicked to the curb constantly. So you go to one of these meetings, and you say, hey, Chubby, how much to get my kid in? Huh, dummy?
Exactly.
And they give you a figure, you drop an envelope, and I'm the bad guy? Come on.
Well, look, Harvard, a good percentage of the people who get into Harvard are called legacy students.
Bush?
I mean, sure.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know how many times he
Bush.
got locked in when the exit sign wasn't working? He's in Harvard? Because the old man gave a wing to him.
But you know what? His SAT score was actually higher than John Kerry.
How do you know he didn't have one of these guys take it for him like we just found out happens all the time?
It's a possibility.
You think this generation is the first to fix test results? Come on. Your generation is the most corrupt in history.
Well, you, as most listeners to me and followers of me on Twitter know, I took the SAT for Derrick Rose. Exactly. You know that.
No.
To get him into Memphis.
2019, it's the first time they had test results scam. Really? Since the time you implemented these rules, there's been scams. Look at Daley. You want me to believe this buffoon is a lawyer?
Well, Daley, he took the bar exam 3 times, and then the 4th time he somehow manages to pass
someone else
it.
took
and
it.
then Bill Daley, his brother, apparently somebody filled in an answer for him or two on the insurance exam. Can't these guys pass an exam
Not
themselves?
to mention, did you see him? This is the first time most people ever heard him speak as he was running for mayor.
Oh, right.
He's about 10 points higher than a salt shaker when it comes to IQ. Yet this guy's amassed how many tens of millions? Come on, the whole thing's a freaking scam.
Oh, I love my favorite moment in Chicago politics and of recent vintage is the marriage, the three-way. Between Bill Daley, Rahm Emanuel, and Bruce Rauner.
Of course.
When they concocted that deal to have AT&T, which somehow Bill Daley was the chairman of, with his inability to pass an insurance exam, and he and Rauner, the venture capitalist, getting together, and Rahm Emanuel getting the vigorous shot.
How about the Pritzkers? How many times do you think he's been interwoven in this scam that is the Chicago politics? Come on.
Anyway, our top story, Dr. Dow.
Have you watched the video?
Later on.
What's that like to watch?
A few months later, after I get my cell phone back, my iPhone back, the frustration, I
got his
I
iPhone
just
back.
cried.
You know what Bob Kraft calls that interview? Foreplay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we got him on all
Cut that
fronts.
out from the podcast, please.
All right.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. President Trump blocks a Major League Baseball deal with Cuba. Major earnings report set to roll out this week, and Atlantic City casino profits down. Those stories next.
Hi, this is Alexander Green, Chief Investment Strategist for the Oxford Club. Just for a moment, I'd like you to picture the perfect stock. No doubt it would have hundreds of billions in revenue, more than IBM, Facebook, and Google. It would probably be a leader in cutting-edge technology like smartphones and robotics. It would be on the verge of dozens of blockbuster announcements. But most of all, it would be ultra cheap, trading at less than $3 a share. Now, it may seem crazy that such a stock exists, but it does. It's a cutting-edge tech company that has made deals worth hundreds of millions of dollars with Nokia, Microsoft, and Cisco, and a $29.2 billion deal with Apple. It's set to create 50,000 new jobs right here in America, and Donald Trump even calls it the eighth wonder of the world. Yet you've likely never even heard of the stock. Why? Because it trades under a secret name. To find out why the secret $3 stock can help you retire, simply go to onestockretirement.com. That's onestockretirement.com.
2 weeks into the 2019 Major League Baseball season, and President Trump has thrown the league a curveball. The Trump administration notifying Major League Baseball any recruiting from the Cuban Baseball Federation is now illegal because the federation is part of Cuba's communist government. The spring earnings report season begins this week. Major banks include J.P. Morgan Chase, set to reveal how much they earned during the first 3 months of the year. And last year, not a good one for Atlantic City casinos. Their profits down more than 15%. The Tropicana and Golden Nugget, the only casinos to raise operating incomes last year. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Gentlemen, are you taking care of your skin? You're probably not. Probably not the way you should, which is why I want to introduce you to Tiege Hanley. It's a Chicago company that is doing something about how men think about and treat their skin. I am one of those men who is rethinking what I'm doing about my skin. Started by 4 guys who know how guys think, the company Tiege Hanley. It's simple, affordable, effective. Also, you don't have to shop. Through their subscription service, all the product is delivered directly to your door. No hidden fees or inflated costs. They have 3 skincare systems. Each include their wash, scrub, and moisturizers with SPF 20. Protect your skin when you're active outside, as we're hopefully entering spring sometime soon. So go right now, go to Tiege.com/DanProf. Use the promo code Dan20, Dan the number 20, and that gets you 20% off your first box. Tiege.com, Tiege.com/DanProf. Use the promo code Dan20.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why aren't more things in life customizable? Like, why do I have to pay a full gym membership when I don't even use all the equipment? Like the rowing machine. I don't know about you, but I'm not doing a ton of manual lake travel these days.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Napa know-how.
It's Love Your Car Month at Napa. And to show your car the love, get a Napa bucket for $2.99 and save 20% on almost everything you can fit inside, like car wash, car wax, and tire shine. So save some cash and look good doing it by getting 20% off with the Napa bucket. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores, exclusions apply. Minimum 3 items may not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 4/30/19.
Feeling sore from working out hard, maybe doing some spring cleaning, or do you want to boost your immune system? Well, if either of those are interest you, then you should try Balance of Nature. It is 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies, all in a single capsule. No preservatives, no dyes. And you hear the testimonials here on the air all the time, and let me tell you, they are real. Okay, folks? And the price of fruits and veggies is about to go up, but if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price for the fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order, but you've got to use the promo code Chicago. Use that when you call, and the number there is 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Their boots are always dirty because at First Choice Equipment, they work alongside their customers to help find innovative solutions to their equipment needs. First Choice Equipment is a trusted family-owned full-service construction equipment dealer that provides skid steers, excavators, track loaders, and wheel loaders to contractors throughout northern Illinois and southeast Wisconsin. They sell, rent, and service Kubota and Mustang construction equipment. Kubota is proud to serve the world's #1 selling compact excavator, and in 2018, the Kubota SVL track loader was awarded the highest retained value award by Equipment Watch. At First Choice Equipment, they work alongside construction professionals who put their work boots on every day. Visit their website at firstchoiceequipment.com to view all of the Kubota and Mustang products, or call 855-510-6050. That's 855-510-6050. First Choice Equipment. They're not just building your neighborhood, they're also part of your neighborhood. Is your parking lot an eyesore for you and your customers? Convenient and safe parking may be one of the most overlooked aspects of your business. You've neglected your parking lot for way too many years. It's falling apart and could be scaring business away. Pavement Solutions knows your parking lot takes a beating. With proper care, you can extend the life of your current lot with Pavement Solutions certified specialty blend called Gem Seal Black Diamond and Duramax. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but it's the best seal coat product in the industry. It'll protect your lot from sub-zero temperatures to a scorching 110-degree day and features an abrasive, non-slip coat for safety and durability. With Enduramax, your lot will have that brand new feel and look at a fraction of the price of a new lot. You and your customers will be safe, and your business will look great. Call Pavement Solutions at 815-675-0696. That's 815-675-0696. And learn about getting 5% off and a free estimate for your next project. 815-675-0696.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Of course, yesterday, how do I get my Monday back? You realize we spent all morning worried about some...
Sounds like every girl you ever dated. Go ahead.
We wasted the whole morning on something going on at Batavia High School. And it turned out to be a kid bringing a baseball bat in there. And that's how terrorized we are by the terrorists now that... I mean, and our helicopter parents, of course, went crazy.
Fear.
Yeah,
it is lightning in a bottle, baby. You could capture and control that. You could be president.
But today, I've got, that's what every good demagogue does. Today, our running gag is, thank goodness he came back into the limelight. The only thing better would be Steve Bartman finally reappearing. But Dr. Dow, if you recall Dr. Dow, we reported on this last segment, Dr. Dow's the guy who was dragged off the United Airlines flight, and he got 7 figures plus lifetime membership in the Red Carpet Burn Club. Yes. So he's back on Good Morning America this morning, and he was asked, what was the question that he was asked, Justin? I forgot.
Did he expect it to get physical?
Were you expecting it to get physical at any point?
No.
That's the
Not
problem
at all.
with society.
When
Open
it
your
became
mouth, it's
physical, when they went to grab you, what went through your mind in that moment?
They pulled me out of the seat. I had a big noise, bum, sitting there, and I don't know anything. Until I wake up in a hospital when they tried to fix laceration in my mouth, my nose.
Okay.
When did this guy get here? Thursday? Why is he talking like this?
Well, wait a minute. President Obama does say, he said this in Berlin the other day, that, immigrants should assimilate and learn the language. But I understand that he's got the thick accent.
The guy can't understand.
The attorney, I remember at the press conference saying that this was worse than the boat people, when he suffered. And he didn't expect it to get physical. What did he expect? To keep the plane on the tarmac the entire time? The guy threw a tantrum because he was more important than anyone else. Anyway, as we get these sound bites flowing in on Dr. Dow.
Obsessed with Dr. Dow. Put him down, for God's sakes. You give this how much? This guy doesn't deserve our attention. He's just a huckster.
All right, let's go to Kirstjen Nielsen yesterday, emerging after she resigned as the head of the Department of Homeland Security.
I share the president's goal of securing the border. I will continue to support all efforts to address the humanitarian and security crisis on the border.
Right. If I want truth, I'll ask for it from Dr. Dow. I mean, she got canned.
She did not get canned. I disagree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Let me tell you something. When you have principle, I could never work for anybody long. I mean, I had a couple of jobs. The minute you have to do something that's against your character, when you have it,
well, she got canned.
You can't take it. I say she walked out, kid.
All right, maybe it was mutual.
No, I say she walked out. But because there's only so much you could take. Sorry,
no, but she wasn't implementing the policies.
This girl worked like a dog.
I don't care if you work if you don't enforce the policies or get the FEMA trailers over there. All you have to do is get the FEMA trailers over there and bring over the immigration judges and then have instant frontier justice and send these faux asylum seekers back to their country of origin. That's all you have to do.
What have you learned from the FBI investigation? That within these bureaucracies are entirely different political agendas than whoever is in charge, the flavor of the year.
The bureaucrats run
the bureaucrats run it. So how do you know?
They run the asylum.
How do you know?
They run the asylum and asylum seekers.
That is what happened. When I say to you, maybe she was screaming repeatedly, "Where are the trailers?" And FEMA said, we're not doing anything. Because the reality is we've created within these bureaucracies hubs of sedition.
She was soft.
Nah, I say you're wrong.
We got a hardline guy in there right now.
I don't believe you. Look at the shirt you got on. You picked that out this morning. You want me to believe you're good at making decisions? Go ahead.
I did it in the dark. I didn't want to wake up the little woman. All my shirts look like this.
Come on. She knows you're leaving. She's got breakfast ready. She just wants you out of the house. Who are you talking to?
I think you're projecting a little bit, Sean, if I don't mind saying so myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, very quickly, under the guidelines here provided by AM 560 The Answer, we have to do a sports hit right now.
Oh, sure.
What did you think of Virginia rallying? Do you know how many games? They were down by like 3 or 4 points within the last 5 seconds of their last 3 games, and they wind up winning the national championship.
I've got 2 teenage daughters. I'm going to waste my time watching someone else's kids. What the hell do I care what they do?
What is your complaint against college basketball?
It stupefies a nation.
No,
you got a bunch of supposedly responsible men listening to the for 3 hours. They're like babbling idiots. You look like zombies.
That is the sound. That is the sound of the sneakers going across the floor. Can I hear that again?
No. Why are you obsessed with the sound effects? You pay attention to a sport that when it wants to, it changes the rules to make scoring higher. So all the rules that you were supposedly a big fan of, now you don't care anymore because a couple of morons told you it doesn't matter if they travel or carry.
You realize I don't care about I don't care about the substance of what you're saying. All I care about is the style.
Like when you do
like
sports.
The sneakers going across the floor like that.
Because you know what?
Excellent.
You could never make sneakers squeak with those things you call legs, those little pins.
Oh, my God. Coming up after 7 o'clock, we'll take your phone calls on our turnkey .pro answer line, 312-642-5600. Now let's go to the newsroom and Mike.
Chicago officials delaying a vote on massive projects. Man charged with murdering his brother-in-law in Wheaton. Cubs beat the Pirates in the home opener. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
So unfair to the U.S. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump tweeted late last night after a federal judge's ruling he called out of control. It blocks the administration's policy of making people who seek asylum wait in Mexico. The judge wrote that puts undue risk on the immigrants' lives and freedom. The ruling doesn't go into effect until Friday, allowing time for an appeal. This amid a shakeup at Homeland Security. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
In an effort to slow the rise in families illegally crossing the southern border, President Trump has instructed White House advisors to take a more direct role implementing immigration policy and making additional changes at the Department of Homeland Security. The Wall Street Journal also reporting that the president told aides he wants to reinstate his family separation policy in order to deter would-be migrants. A federal judge has barred the administration from separating families at the border. The president has put his chief speechwriter, Stephen Miller, in charge of the administration's immigration policy. Dave?
John Attorney General Barr goes to Capitol Hill next hour for
the House Appropriations Subcommittee hearing, part of Congress's review of the Justice Department's budget request.
But another issue looms, the Mueller report. The Democrats demand he give them in full without redactions.
Lawmakers on the panel could quiz the Attorney General about timing of the report's release and evidence he saw to conclude President Trump did not obstruct justice.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Yet another Democrat's taking the presidential plunge. Congressman Eric Swalwell entered the 2020 race last night on the CBS Late Show.
I see a country in quicksand, unable to solve problems and threats from abroad, unable to make life better for people here at home.
They celebrated into a championship into the wee hours in Virginia.
It's crazy! I'm so happy.
This after Virginia won college basketball's national title with an 85-77 overtime win over Texas Tech, 1 year after Virginia became the first top seed to lose to a 16 in the first round of the tournament. This is Fox.
Skies are clear. We have sunshine at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Charges pending against a man accused of stabbing two teenage siblings, then sexually assaulting one of them during a home invasion in Sleepy Hollow. Kane County Sheriffs and Sleepy Hollow police say the suspect entered a home yesterday through an open, unlocked door and attacked the 19-year-old woman, sexually assaulting and stabbing her, then stabbing the brother when he came to her defense. The attacker entered another home nearby and confronted two others who were not injured. Officers used tasers to arrest the suspect, and the siblings remain hospitalized this morning. Chicago officials are apparently holding off on a vote on two massive city projects. The Lincoln Yards and 78 proposals have been delayed, including delayed votes on $2 billion in property tax subsidies.
So we need to make sure that there's enough transparency so that people in the neighborhoods who are going to be most directly affected feel like they understand what the nature of the project is, the impacts on them, and that their voices are heard.
The move comes after Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot discussed postponing the vote with Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Striking Chicago's Symphony Orchestra musicians have rejected a contract proposal management described as its last, best, and final. Police in LaPorte, Indiana, are telling parents not to worry about the latest school threat. Officers yesterday said the threat toward Handley Elementary School is something that was posted online more than a month ago. Police say the threat wasn't credible then, and it's not credible now. Parents began worrying again after the threat surfaced over the weekend. Cubs beat the Pirates 10-0 in the home opener at Wrigley Field. Reigning AL Cy Young winner Blake Snell struck out 11. Rays 5-1 winners over the White Sox at the rate. The news service of Staples, with the supplies you need to run your business like a boss. This week, buy one HP ink cartridge and get a second 30% off so you can stock up and save. Ends 4/13/19. Restrictions apply. See store for details. Staples.com/ink savings. Staples. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher is waiting for the reckoning.
There has to be responsibility taken for how this corrupt, pathetic narrative began. I think the American people demand it. From where I sit, this isn't political revenge. This is a reckoning that is needed to prevent this from ever happening again.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments. Clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Hi, this is Dr. Mike Andriano of Trinity Holistic Health Center. Over the last 25 years, I noticed that I and many of my patients lost the ability to lose weight. Detoxes, starvation, low fat, low carb, nothing works. Even with small appetites and healthy food, we still gain weight. And if we do lose a few pounds, one slip up and it all comes right back. For years, I searched for answers and finally discovered that toxins cause inflammation, and inflammation blocks hormones from telling your body to burn fat. Not just any inflammation, but inflammation at the cell membrane. Diets and detoxes don't address the root cause of weight loss resistance, but we do. My practice concentrates on finding and fixing the root cause of your problem, not just covering up symptoms.
If this sounds like you, go to lifedoc.am or call 1-833-LIFEDOC and learn how you can get help to lose those extra pounds once and for all. That's lifedoc.am or call 1-833-LIFE-DOC.
When you could use help closing your books and need additional staff, it's time to call Accountemps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis and fast. Call today. Accountemps, a Robert Half company.
7:07. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 traffic center with Jim Talamonte.
The northbound tri-state has heavy delays this morning from Cicero to the 83rd Street Toll, from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. The Reagan Tollway has delays from the Fox River to Eola, Highland to Midwest, and 22nd to Roosevelt. Edens is 29 minutes, Lake Hook to the Junction. Kennedy, 50 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 22 from Montrose, 12 in the Express. Inbound Eisenhower delays start at St. Charles. It is an hour and 8 minutes, 390 to downtown. 54 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour and 9 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. 55 minutes from the Tri-State. Ryan, 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes, 90 to the Merge. Bishop, 421. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
Partly sunny today with our high 65. Clouds on the increase tonight, low 35. Rain and breezy for tomorrow, high 41. Shower and thunderstorm, clouds and breezy on Thursday with a high near 53. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Sunshine and 48 at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Dan and Amy and listeners in Mexico. Chicago's Morning Answer with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
You mentioned basketball.
Wait,
one
hold
more
on a
time.
second. We've got the music introduction there. Ding, 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 ding. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Yes, you wanted to say
One more
something?
time with basketball. I'm going to give you a Dr. Dow. Right in the forehead.
Our top story, Dr. Dow wins the NCAA championship. Rallying from 3 points down with 5 seconds left, he was dragged through the paint. He was dragged through the paint. They called a foul, and he got 2 shots, and he won. And he gets $7 million thanks to his attorney, Tom Demetrio, for winning the NCAA
Why don't we
title.
do a segment on how the ramifications of all of these ridiculous athletic scholarships leads to the bribery of college officials? Want to do that? Let's tie it all together on how the bastardization of higher education leads to where you have to bribe your kid unless the kid could dribble. If the kid can dribble and not read, ta-da, it's the NAACP.
Or the NCAACP.
Exactly.
Which should,
It's all
they should
part of the
actually have,
same thing.
They should have an NCAACP, which
PP.
Well, it pays black athletes who are exploited by these colleges. And fortunately, Zion Williamson, the top pick in the NBA draft, soon to be, allegedly was paid under the table by Nike. But we'll find out about that.
Of course they are. Are you kidding me? Am I the only one that went to high school? In high school, they're already bribing these kids. You don't think they're doing it in college?
They should bribe them. I mean, that's the only way they can get the
Here's
pay
what you
that they
should do.
deserve. You know how much money CBS and TNT and TBS, whatever, have to shell out to the NCAA for this tournament? And these guys, it's a one-way ticket to Palookaville.
Let's not waste any time then pretending they're students. And let's free up those spots for kids who want to be students. Okay? Let's not let's waste any time pretending they're actually in college.
On the one hand, we have these athletes who pretend they're our students. On the other hand, we have these students like Lori Loughlin's kid who pretend that they're athletes. So what's the difference?
One big lie. The whole thing's a lie. Who tells the better lie? You get higher in life. It's crazy.
All right, our top story. Democratic California Representative Eric Swalwell says he's running for president.
Who isn't?
Swalwell announced his campaign during an appearance on the Colbert Late Show last night.
Is he transgendering? That's the only thing that could top what we got now, the freak show we got now.
I'm subjected to Eric Swallow all the time because he's on Fox all the time. He's the go-to liberal Democrat. He was the one fostering this Russia conspiracy theory, the collusion theory. He called Trump an agent of Vladimir Putin. Now, the common ordinary meaning of agent means that he's working like with the KGB. Well, that's fallen apart. Now they're shifting the goalposts. Adam Cody Parkey Schiff is shifting the goalposts right now and saying, well, we don't have evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, but we have evidence. Well, yeah, what's evidence of collusion with Russians?
If the Democrats have proven one thing, lo these 100 years, you don't have to be right about a god-darn thing to be the head of the Democrat Party. Everything they stand for is wrong. So what difference does it make? This guy might go to the top with that position.
Well, it's interesting. Now, let's handicap this right now. Let's figure this out. Eric Swalwell, does he have a chance? He's just another white guy in here, along with Bernie. And Bernie's raising money hand over foot. He's the leader.
Hand over foot or hand over fist? My neighborhood, it's fist.
Wait a minute.
You're losing your mind. This is the beginning of dementia. Next thing you know, you'll be meandering around. It depends.
What is the American idiom? Is it hand over fist or hand over foot?
It's fist in my neighborhood, kid.
Can we get a ruling on this?
Yeah.
We'll find out about that.
All right.
I may not know American idiom.
I don't. Sure you do.
All right.
Go ahead.
So we've got Swallow. Bernie Sanders has made a very smart move, because he's tacked over back to where he used to be on immigration. He's saying, don't give us your tired, don't give us your poor. He doesn't believe in open borders. He has said that, and that's Trump's wheelhouse.
If I may get serious for one moment.
Well, what's not serious about this? Okay.
Since 6 o'clock. Anyway.
All right. 5.
The reality is that if you can capture that energy, that misguided economic energy of protectionism, of making America great through more control, which seems to be the new conservatism, then in fact you can muddy the waters so much where you in fact can defeat Trump. That's the only way they're going to defeat him. Because one thing he does is he sells people socialism by pretending it's nationalism, whereas they believe they're trying to sell communism by pretending it's socialism. So you'll get that binary lesser of two evil thing.
Now, Pete Buttigieg, the mayor of South Bend, and I'll get the pronunciation of his name correctly. It took me 10 years before I got Tony Kukoc's name proper when I was a sportscaster, so I'm not trying to slur the guy. I'm just bad at pronunciations, which is bad for a broadcaster. But Mayor Pete, they asked him if he was a socialist, and he says he's a democratic. He believes in democratic capitalism, which that's a euphemism for socialism, isn't it? It's the same thing.
But here's the problem.
He's sly, that guy.
Well, sure he is. And be careful with that Mr. Rogers tone of voice. Look what little Dick Durbin, look where it's brought him. He's got that same monotone, everything fine.
Nice demeanor.
My wife's not a lobbyist.
I want to shake you down.
I'm not in on
I'm
the
picking
scam.
your pocket.
They got it all.
There we go.
So that can go far. You
Yeah.
can go far with that. No, do not underestimate these Hans Christian Andersens, because they can go very far.
All right. I know this is just prose poetry on the air with you, but sometimes I need you to explain some of how is this Hans Christian Andersen?
They're telling fairy tale stories.
Okay, all right. Because I'm thinking Hans Brinker and the Silver Skates.
No, everything
the
they
ugly
stand
duckling
for.
who's now pretty.
It's a good story that's a lie.
I get
That's
it.
what
He's a
Democrats'
fabulist.
policies are.
And
Good stories that are lies.
Donald Trump is a fabulist. Have you read about his golf game?
It's a race to the bottom.
You know that Donald Trump, and I loved him. I voted for him. Always the disclaimer here. I voted for him, and I'm going to vote for him again. But I mean, he cheats at golf. The stories are legendary. He's playing with Mike Tirico, okay, the sportscaster, and Tirico's ball actually was on the green. And Donald Trump got up to the green before Tirico did with his caddy and threw Tirico's ball in the sand trap.
You're looking at,
and I believe that.
You're looking at this guy. You're looking at this guy built like an Amish wife, married to his third trophy wife. And you're shocked that he cheats
Is that
at
Tirico
golf?
or Donald Trump?
I mean,
right,
come
of course.
on. The whole thing's a lie.
This is all baked in the cake that is Donald Trump, and we like him.
You know my favorite? When
Yeah.
the father, when he's losing the casino's going sideways, can't
Yeah.
get the loan. But in order to get the loan, the old man walks in, buys $3.5 million worth of chips, and walks out. I mean, I love it, baby. This is good stuff.
In lieu of bankruptcy, that's
It's
what he
almost
did?
as good as the green energy scam that Clinton's girl just got caught in. See what I did there?
How about we talk about that after we pause for station identification, and give us a call on the turnkey.pro answer line at 312-642-5600. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Safety. It's so important at your industrial facility. You need to keep your personnel safe and meet OSHA requirements. One problem with your ladders, platforms, or safety guards, and you could be facing costly fines. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to keep your employees safe.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. As a business owner, I realize the importance of keeping my employees safe, and I'm here to offer my expertise. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor uniquely equipped to design, fabricate, and install safety equipment, including walkways, handrails, stairways, and machinery guards. Our Vans Industrial team can inspect existing systems, engineer solutions, fabricate quality goods, and install them with trained pros, all making a safer environment for your employees.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Hey, it's tax season again, and the April 15th deadline is right around the corner. If you haven't filed your tax returns the past few years, pardon me, Harold Washington breath, or for several years, or maybe you're just in debt to the IRS and don't know what to do or who to turn to, I want you to write down this name and number or save it in your phone. Attorney Stephen Leahy, 312-664-6649. Stephen will help you. Stephen is a friend of Amy's and Dan's and a friend of AM 560 and host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard every Sunday afternoon at 5. You can trust Attorney Leahy to help solve your IRS problems. He's local, right here in Chicago, available to meet with you one-on-one. If you fear the IRS will take your money, bank account, wages, visit you at your home or job, and now they can even take your passport, you need to talk to the trusted attorney of AM 560, Attorney Stephen Leahy. Call 312-664-6649. Attorney Leahy will solve your IRS problems for good. Call 312-664-6649 or visit chicagotaxteam.com. chicagotaxteam.com.
We're here at CreditRepair.com, the most recognized name in the industry when it comes to resolving credit report issues and getting that credit score up. With me, I got Aaron. Aaron, what happens when people call CreditRepair.com?
A lot. Just one call gets any listener a free credit score, free credit report, and a free personalized credit evaluation right over the phone. In just a few minutes, you'll know exactly what's hurting your credit and get a personalized game plan to help restore it.
And that can make a huge difference when it comes to getting those things that we want, like a new car, a new house, or even a brand new job.
Absolutely. Your credit score is one of the first things lenders look at, and our proven process can help remove those unfair or inaccurate items like late payments and collections from your credit report. In fact, on average, people who have used our service have seen significant improvement in their credit scores month after month.
What are you waiting for? Call CreditRepair.com today. Call 800-851-5318. That's 800-851-5318. 800-851-5318.
Feeling sore from working out hard, maybe doing some spring cleaning, or do you want to boost your immune system? Well, if either of those are interest you, then you should try Balance of Nature. It is 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies, all in a single capsule. No preservatives, no dyes. And you hear the testimonials here on the air all the time, and let me tell you, they are real. Okay, folks? And the price of fruits and veggies is about to go up, but if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price for the fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order, but you've got to use the promo code Chicago. Use that when you call, and the number there is 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Well, I am mortified. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy.
Never doubt me, Wolf.
Oh, no. I mean, because that's my wheelhouse. That's my bailiwick.
Yeah.
I'm the master linguist. You know, you're just the cigar-chomping guy from Melrose Park. And I said hand over foot. you corrected me and said hand over fist. And you know American idiom better than I do.
The odds of you being right over me are better than an orgasm in Winnetka. They don't happen.
How about Wilmette? Do they have them?
Whatever.
That's why Winnetka's envious of Wilmette. But yes, I looked it up. But there's some justification for my. It's not a malapropism. Some justification for my error because Walt Kelly's Pogo did a pun, a play on it years ago, and did say hand over foot. So
he must be right.
A lot of people say hand over foot, but they're wrong. It's really hand over.
All the answers come from Melrose Park.
Now, is it all for all intensive purposes or for all intents and purposes?
Whatever mood I'm in and however fast I'm talking.
All right, our Turnkey Pro.answer line is 312-642-5600. Give us a call. Now, just because you got that right, and not like I'm in charge or anything like that, what do you want to talk about?
Well, how about we talk about something actually relative?
Or relevant. See, now I'm going to compensate.
Sneakers.
Now I'm going to compensate.
No kidding.
Try to lord it over you.
Please, your wife's on line one. Anyway, listen, Bill Clinton honoree thrown in jail. But I want to talk about numbers here.
Okay.
Over the biggest clean energy scam in history. Now, right away, we think
she's an honoree. What kind of honoree was she?
Oh, no, she paid somebody some kind of fee and got one of those.
But the point is that she's related to
Bill.
She's related to Clinton. He didn't hit on her.
How do you know?
Well,
she's a woman. Come on. The only difference between him and Biden is he has less taste. Anyway, she's a kid. Look at her. Right? And it looks like a little kid sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, these two scoundrels capitalized on that green energy eco-Nazi nonsense that's sweeping the world. And they scammed $54 million in an out-and-out Ponzi scheme by pretending they had the everlasting gobstopper to green energy solutions. Right? Some nonsense makes the CO2 no longer a pollutant because it never was. Right? So they can cook the data and all this stuff. Anyway, they never produce anything. They get a phony baloney warehouse in Tennessee. They scam $54 million.
That's great.
In a short period of time.
Cylindra, mini Cylindra.
Guess what the sentence was?
30
months. Even you could do 30 months for $54 million. You'd come out in high heels and a miniskirt, but you could do it.
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me?
It would be worth it to me.
Why would you get a job when this is the penalty? I mean, the only one that beats this is Smollett.
That's pretty good.
Why would $54 million 30 months? You know how many guys they don't want to get away from their wife for 30 months? You mean I get
go to Club Fed
I get $54 million and I get to get away? Come on.
It's not like you're going
when I get out, the money's got interest on it. You really think they caught the money? And when they catch them, you know what they say? We recovered $800,000. Oh, sure you did.
Right. It's not like she was going to Statesville.
They hide money like the Pritzker family.
Oh.
Come on.
All right, I'm glad you got that off your chest.
I feel much better now.
You rode herd over me. I hope I got that idiom right.
Yeah.
Another
thing I would have done when you were in the bar.
Hand over foot is.
It's hand over fist.
It's really hand over fist. And now you got to tell this story. So you're on a roll right now.
I've been on a roll since 91.
I see Sean Ascendant right now.
Why wouldn't
You're ready to take over.
Sure. And only one of us has a podcast after the show.
I was just going to mention this. You have a podcast. Why don't you tell us about it, Sean?
Well, see, when I co-host, the producers and the studio knows I'm not going to be able to get to relevant topics or even maybe a sentence out. So they give me extra time when I'm just by myself. The Liberty Hour podcast starts at 9:05, and you can get it at the 560 website, right, Justin? He's the one that
So you can go onto YouTube and see you on a podcast.
That's exactly right.
All right. You want me to call in today?
No. Stay away. Just get in your little Accord and drive home.
Bruce from Ice Station Zebra calling in. You don't want that? All right. I understand that. Yeah. So we were talking about the presidential candidates before. Eric Swalwell just threw his hat into the ring on Stephen Colbert's show last night. I think it's too many white guys right now. Bernie has raised all this money. He's got the message that's going to blunt Trump's on immigration because he's not for open borders. He's a socialist. That's where the millennials are going. That's where the Democratic Party is. I see Bernie as a possible president of the United States.
I put half a yard on Andrew Yang. All right?
Okay.
I want him on the outside because Andrew
People don't
Yang,
even know who Andrew Yang
Andrew
is.
Yang,
I know who he is.
He's my guy. He's the guy that I pick. He's got the best of both worlds. He has that illusion of the mystical, magical internet success, right? He's an entrepreneur. He's got it all, and now he hates himself for it. So he wants to give away, which is the perfect combination.
Self-loathing liberals. That's why Hollywood.
Self-loathing humanity.
That's why Hollywood is liberal. because there's all social Darwinists who are fighting each other all the time. It is so dog eat dog.
I'm successful and I hate myself for it.
Do I have that idiom correctly? It's not dog eat cat. It's dog eat dog.
Yeah, you
got
got one right.
Okay, I got one. All right, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
All right, so that's why they feel all this guilt, and they don't want everybody else to have to live that life. So that's why they want the redistribution of wealth.
He has the twist of, rather than making it like North Korea, which is where these policies really lead, he paints the picture of a utopia of you just get $1,000. So he makes you feel like you're not on welfare by handing you cash.
Oh, universal basic income. By the way, there are conservatives who are in favor of that too. Charles Murray's been in favor of that.
You don't think there's welfare rent-seeking conservatives? Of course they are. They call it every company that hires the Republican Party. No, they do not want the true capitalism that built America.
What do we do?
They
Let me
need
play
the bastardized version of it.
Let me play the devil's advocate. By the way, do I have that right? It's not the angel's advocate. It's the devil's advocate.
Correct.
Let me play that. What do we do with the destitute? Not everybody is capable of rising from his own bootstraps.
The problem,
right about
the
that
problem
one?
with
that cliche. I mean, we do have to. We do have to provide for some people. So what about in lieu of all these other welfare programs? We just gave everybody $1,000 a month.
With life is it's a participation sport. Do not mix charity with government, and you'll be better. There will be something for those people. We are the most charitable people on the planet.
Yeah, but it's not just charity. All right, Megan, if you please turn your radio up so that we can hear ourselves reverb. I kind of like that. And the only guy who actually ever asks for that, radio host, is to turn your radio up. Megan from the South Side, you wanted to talk about Bernie Sanders' money? Good morning.
Good morning, guys. You were talking about Bernie and how much money he's raising. So I just wanted to, in case anybody out there is nervous listening, Trump has already raised $100 million for his reelection campaign. So you put all these crazy liberals together, and they still don't have enough money raised that Trump does. So.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about for the Democratic nomination. And don't forget, once Bernie becomes don't you think Tim Apple and all those people are going to raise money for Bernie Sanders if he becomes the nominee? It's the level, the playing field will be level.
And Trump is about to raise a lot more. He just started and initiated in a trade war with all of Europe. So he'll raise more from the corporatist scumbags that profit from that.
There's
war.
others corporatist scumbags who will be for the liberals. Most big
business
corporations.
Green energy.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you so much, Megan.
It's
Appreciate
a war
that.
of the scumbags. That's what
Steve
it is.
from the western suburbs. Good morning. Hi, Steve.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Very good. Yourself?
Good. Well, you guys almost got it right with the liberal guild out of Hollywood, but I came up with a 4G method for this. The first, no.
Go ahead.
Hear this out.
Sure.
The first G is guilt. Okay, so they all feel guilty because they got a lot of money for doing next to nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
So after that, they use the second G, which is give money away. So they figure giving money to other people is going to make them feel better. Okay?
Exactly. Yeah.
So they start doing that, and the third G, which is greed, kicks in. They said, well, wait a minute. This is my money. I don't want to give it away to people because, even though I feel bad, I don't want to give it away. So then the fourth G kicks in. They get the government to give other people money, and they all feel better.
Exactly. Steve, that is a theory, and it's easy for me to remember. 4 Gs. I appreciate that. Thanks so much.
I like it.
Are we ever going to get 5G? I'm worried about that. I'm worried
Verizon is working on it.
The Chinese are going to beat us to 5G.
I like it, but I want to play on a nuance that's happened. Is that greed has gone from the guy that wants to keep his money versus the government that wants to take it. We people who want to keep our money, we're not greedy. The government who wants my money, the government is greedy.
Wait,
J.B. Pritzker is greedy.
Wait, Barack Obama told us the government is what we all do together.
Yeah.
So kumbaya, my lord.
You know what I say? Never take advice from a guy with an ugly wife. He's not good at making decisions.
Let's have a cleansing breath right now and go to the newsroom. And Mike Scott.
Skies are blue, 48 degrees at 7:30. And Attorney General William Barr is scheduled to appear before Congress today. Reporter Peter Alexander tells us the meeting is supposed to be about dry and pro forma budget items, but Democrats may veer off the subject.
This is the first time that Attorney General William Barr will be sitting down before Congress since Robert Mueller wrapped up his investigation. And with Democrats demanding that Barr release the full report immediately, he's certain to face fierce questioning.
Barr has said he will give lawmakers a redacted version of Mueller's full report by mid-month. President Trump will meet with the president of Egypt, Abdel el-Sisi, at the White House today, following an invitation from the U.S. administration focusing on military, economic, and counter-terror cooperation. Outgoing Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is thanking the president for giving her the opportunity to serve.
I'm forever grateful and proud of the men and women of DHS who work so hard every day to execute their missions and to protect the homeland.
Police in Prince George's County in Maryland insisting there's no threat to the area after the arrest of a man accused of plotting an ISIS-inspired attack.
Prince George's County is a safe destination, and this is a safe venue here at National Harbor, again, because of the public-private partnerships.
County Police Chief Henry Stowinski saying the arrest of Rondell Henry in the case is the result of multiple law enforcement agencies working together on what started as a simple stolen vehicle case. Charges are pending against a man accused of stabbing 2 teenage siblings and 2 others, sexually assaulting one of them during a home invasion in Sleepy Hollow. That attacker was confronted by police later and was tased and then arrested. Man accused of posing as a missing Aurora boy in Kentucky will face a judge today. Brian Reaney will learn whether bond will be set after he was charged with lying to federal agents. DNA testing revealed he was not the missing boy, Timothy Pitson. Recently unsealed court documents say accused Illinois kidnapper Brent Christensen was treated by the University of Illinois Counseling Center in the months prior to the alleged kidnapping of visiting scholar Yingying Zhang. Documents say Christensen described his urge to commit homicide as a fantasy, but according to the court documents, made no specific threats against anyone. Cubs over the Pirates 10-0 in the home opener at Wrigley Field. Cy Young winner Blake Snell struck out 11. Rays over the White Sox 5-1 at guaranteed rate. The news service of Accountemps finding highly skilled accounting and finance pros, well, it can be a challenge. Accountemps can help with Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors. You can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Respectfully, if you can pull your head out of your Trump love right now.
The Joe Walsh Show.
The President of the United States should not be attacking a dead man. There's just got to be a certain level of decency that we expect from our president. If you want Trump to win in 2020, this kind of crap is going to kill it.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5, right before Larry Elder at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
Building owners and managers, now is the perfect time of year to take the necessary steps to preserve the integrity of your new or existing roof system with a roof maintenance plan from Waukegan Roofing. Since 1914, Waukegan Roofing has been installing and maintaining commercial roofs you can rely on all over Chicagoland. Without regularly scheduled maintenance, your roof system will begin to break down, costing you money sooner than you think. With our roof maintenance plan, your dedicated service technician covers all areas of your roof using our multi-point inspection program, which features early detection, preventative maintenance, repairs, and more. Building owners and managers, it's time for protection and peace of mind with a roof maintenance plan from Waukegan Roofing. Call us at 877-ROOF-201. That's 877-ROOF-201, or visit us online at waukeganroofing.com. That's waukeganroofing.com. Waukegan Roofing, installing roofs you can rely on since 1914.
Illinois licensee 104000761.
In today's turbulent times, professionals from a variety of industries are faced with concerns regarding workplace violence and the harm it can cause to its employees. Workplace violence can manifest in any setting and oftentimes might come without warning. The team at P4 Security Solutions can assist your organization in mitigating risks to prevent you and your employees from becoming a victim.
Hi, I'm Lawrence Doria, President and CEO of P4 Security Solutions. As a lifelong Chicagoan and security expert with over 40 years in the industry, I take pride in providing our clients a variety of security offerings to address your risks and concerns. Our security services deliver customized offerings to address threats while maintaining continuity. P4 Security Solutions, your trusted advisor for uncertain times.
Contact P4 Security Solutions when you require active shooter training, workplace violence programs, off-duty police services, security assessments, personal protection, or any other of our security solutions. Visit our website at p4secure.com or call us at 312-502-1702 for immediate response.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
It is 7:36, and let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Eastbound I-80 traffic is jammed. River Road before Humboldt due to a crash. The Tri-State Tollway traffic is heavy southbound Deerfield to Lake Cook. Northbound Cicero to the 83rd Street Toll. Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. The eastbound Adams Tollway has delays from the Elgin Toll to Bartlett Road and Lee to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway from the Fox River to Washington and 22nd to Roosevelt. Wheaton runs 29 minutes, Lake Cook Junction. Kennedy, 58 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 30 from Montrose, 15 on the Express. The Eisenhower's an hour and 26 minutes, 390 to downtown. An hour 12 from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan, 35 minutes from 95th. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Partly sunny, 65 today. Increasing clouds overnight, low 35. Currently 48. Next news coming up at 8. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson sitting in this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
They still play this at sports events, don't they? All the time.
Happily,
I have
I
a
wouldn't know.
son, my oldest son, stood in line for 8 hours to meet Ozzy Osbourne.
Nice to see it's genetic.
Who, by the way, gave the greatest rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game at Wrigley Field ever done. Mike Ditka's was fast, but he knew the words. Ozzy Osbourne just went, ball game. It was great.
Is he the cockroach of life or what? I mean,
he's
all
great.
the drugs
Crazy
he's
Train,
done,
great song.
Nothing's
All right,
going to kill him.
Sean, reason we're discussing this topic is I know that you were the judge in a debate on this. We have, there's so much, the liberalization of voting policies in this republic is an anathema to me. Sean, we've got the Democrats who want prisoners to vote now. Convicted, they want felons. Felons should have a right to vote, says Bernie Sanders. Yeah. Another prong of their attack on our electoral system is to get rid of the Electoral College. And you, of course, having been an arbiter,
I have a huge problem with it.
You were a judge in a debate on this.
If this happens, it's a lost. Everything is lost. It will be a mobocracy from there forward.
People think we live in a democracy. We don't. Thank
a
goodness.
republic. Thank
exactly. God. Let us go right now, then, to Dr. John York, a contributor to National Review, The Federalist, and The Washington Times. He's a policy analyst at the B. Kenneth Simon Center for Principles and Politics at the Heritage Foundation. And he wrote a column recently which piqued my interest. Said, no, candidates wouldn't visit Mississippi if we ditched the Electoral College. Thanks for joining us right now, Dr. York. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, we're just going to forget about the rest of the republic here, get rid of state lines, and we're going to be ruled essentially by the great majority that Hillary Clinton can get from California, and that's the end of it, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy situation. I mean, you can see what happens when you have a popular vote where every vote is counted equally and geographic lines don't matter. I mean, you live in Illinois. How much do governors visit Galesburg as opposed to Chicago or New York City? How much does that govern New York politics? I mean, basically, you create a system wherein the major population centers attract all the attention before the election, and as a result, all the attention thereafter. So I don't think we want that on a national basis.
Now, Dr. York, I'm going to write a similar article, and I'm going to title it, How to Prevent the Stampede of the Useful Idiot. Because when people want to take away the Electoral College, what they're basically what they want to implement is the fact that the least knowledgeable voter can throw away the vote of the most knowledgeable, and that the mobocracy that the founders were afraid of could truly sweep the country with as if we don't have bad policies now. I think it would take about 6 minutes for us to be completely socialist if we did not have an electoral college. Am I wrong?
Well, it is already the case that you have the New York and California with an outsized number of electoral college votes. They all go to the Democrats. We have Texas in our corner, I suppose, but yeah, I think to have the major population centers governing election over election over election, because swing states shift, but what don't? The population centers. So you'd have really New York, L.A., Chicago, I suppose, and a few cities in Texas really getting the lion's share of the attention. And I guess, in a way, the useful idiots become even more idiotic because the great majority of the nation wouldn't get any attention at all. They wouldn't know there was an election except for if they checked on Wikipedia, I guess. I don't know.
And in fact, isn't this really because they're panicking at the fact that people like myself, so I'm here in Illinois, I'm a real estate broker in South Florida, and I'm moving to South Florida because I need my vote to matter. What they try to do is to stop that from happening. That the rumor of, these red states are becoming blue, that's only a rumor. What's happening is the ramification of their failure is chasing the good citizens to good states, and they're panicking, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the idea of federalism is that you can have, well, there's a lot of advantages, but one of the major advantages is the one you just point to, that various states can try out various policy regimes, and we can see what works. And look around the country, it's pretty obvious what works. Compare Florida or Tennessee to New York or Illinois. I mean, the fiscal state of red states is much superior, and that's why it's really important to continue to support federalism. And the Electoral College does that because it gives even less populous states some heft in the selection of the president.
Yeah, we have this thing called the Bill of Rights, which immunizes us from the whim of the populace. We have the states, which are supposed to be a bulwark against the federal government. We have the family, which protects us against the state. People don't recognize that anymore. We're all supposed to just melt together, and we are called the United States of America. They want to get rid of the term states. I think if you actually saw this come into being, the elimination of the Electoral College, I think that secession might follow. And you wouldn't have to have it with contiguous states anymore, because in the internet era, I mean, we could just have a bunch of states form some sort of coalition and just drop out. I mean, it's not actually a far-fetched thing to believe in if you're going to actually go as far as instituting this draconian thing called the elimination of the Electoral College. Am I wrong about that?
Well, the founders were the idea. I think maybe one of the primary ideas behind schemes of geographic representation, right? Having states represented as opposed to just individuals spread throughout the nation, is that you're going to have a great deal of variety of cultures, of economic interests in each state across this continent that poses the country. And the founders understood that geographic regions have to be represented in some way, have to have some sense that they're bought in. How long is flyover country going to allow itself to be flown over? If we have a system, we get rid of the Electoral College, and that's the case. Presidents barely, make a pit stop in the broad interior of the country. It's hard to say why people in states like Mississippi or Iowa would continue to pay fealty to this government that kind of ignores them.
I'm 51. I look damn good, by the way, if you're wondering. But I'm 51 years old, and I have seen my country become a socialist light. I am sorry, I don't think we are even close to having the caliber or the integrity or the fundamentals and principles of freedom and liberty that we were supposed to have. My question to you is, do you see us winning now that this has been at the forefront since Trump won? Do you see us winning or losing? Because my fear is we are on such a trajectory that we will, in my lifetime, be socialist. I mean, don't get me wrong. After the day I'm gone, I really don't care what happens. But I want it to last while I'm here. What do you think?
Gosh, when you look at the generations coming up, the quote-unquote millennials, and I know it's the most cliche thing in the world to bag on millennials, but they really do seem to be far to the left of the generations that have come up. And there is some, some people will say as you mature and get a home loan and have kids, you become more conservative. I don't actually know if that's the case. It didn't seem to me that the silent generation or the greatest generation gave up on the New Deal or thought that was such a bad idea, or people in the baby boomer generation decided that foreign interventions were a good idea. It just seems like the next generation is even more liberal, so they seem conservative by comparison. So that's a scary thing. I got to tell you, I think we need to do a lot better job convincing generations coming and people coming from foreign lands that there's something special about this country. It needs to be maintained.
Well, remember, the millennials didn't experience the 20th century. So they don't know how many times you have to fail and how many millions you have to
Grandparents
slaughter.
like you spoiled them. You ruined everything. Your whole generation stinks.
The greatest generation, I remember Florence King saying the problem with the greatest generation is that they were also the most permissive generation. So they created me like the baby boomers, and now we've created these ungrateful millennials. So, we're going to hell in a handbasket, but it's good to go with you, Dr. John York. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. John York.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM
This is the morning show. More Chicago
Answer.
radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
I was having a lot of pain in my right hip, and it was causing my leg to be numb below my knee from the hip all the way down. I wasn't getting any sleep. So on top of it, I'm tired. I'm sleep deprived because I'm in pain and I'm not sleeping. So I decided to start taking these things, and the pain is gone virtually. I mean, at 90%, maybe 95%. It was just amazing.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Spring is in the air, but if you've got school-age kids, then you should already be thinking about back-to-school season this fall. And you should consider sending your child to a private school at half the regular cost, thanks to halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you can find local private schools from all over Chicagoland that are offering vouchers for a full year of tuition at half the price with no catch. Find a school near you, purchase the tuition voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. It's that simple. Halfpriceschools.com has schools located all across Chicagoland, including Lake County Baptist School in Waukegan, Faith Evangelical Lutheran School in Antioch, Westminster Christian School in Elgin. Make private school affordable for your family for the first time this year. These vouchers will sell out. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. That's halfpriceschools.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Sperveries is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Gentlemen, are you taking care of your skin? Probably not. Probably not the way you should, which is why I want to introduce you to Tiege Hanley. It's a Chicago company that is doing something about how men think about and treat their skin. I am one of those men who is rethinking what I'm doing about my skin. Started by 4 guys who know how guys think, the company Tiege Hanley. It's simple, affordable, effective. Also, you don't have to shop through their subscription service. All the product is delivered directly to your door. No hidden fees or inflated costs. They have 3 skincare systems. Each include their wash, scrub, and moisturizers with SPF 20. Protect your skin when you're active outside, as we're hopefully entering spring sometime soon. So go right now, go to Tiege.com/DanProft. Use the promo code Dan20, Dan the number 20, and that gets you 20% off your first box. Tiege.com, Tiege.com/DanProft. Use the promo code Dan20.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hola, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you from the Marival Distinct Luxury Residences. We're on our Passport to Paradise trip in Nuevo Vallarta, and we're pleased to be joined for this little installment by Garrett Vespo. He is the principal of Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, and also the sponsor of our trip this year. Garrett, great to have you here again. Thanks so much for sponsoring. And tell us how business is going in the HVAC world.
Business is good. Right now it's very good. I'm lucky. Everything's working out real good. We got work. In between seasons, I could use a few more cleaning checks. But, it's
important to have a cleaning check. Talk about that.
Very important to get your air conditioner tuned up so you get the most efficiency out of it.
Because,
I'll have my butler call you.
Have you ever changed a filter on your furnace?
No.
Or
What's
AC?
a filter? What's a furnace? I live in a high-rise condo.
So you don't control your own heating and cooling?
No.
You have a central system in there.
Of course. What am I, an animal?
I change my filter every 3 months, right?
Very good, Amy. Every 3 months is good.
All right,
so auto shop in high school, too.
Garrett, we're playing golf again all week. We did the last time we played golf. We played in Riviera Maya, but the best trip was Punta Cana. We played Teeth of the Dog, the Pete Dye course out there, and you ripped up that course.
Yeah, I had a good day that day. Everything was working. Beautiful course right off of the ocean. Was great.
It would have been nice to have gotten an invite.
Well,
but it's all right. I mean, I'm just standing right here. But you're going to take me tomorrow.
We're all going tomorrow, right?
Yes.
You and Dan.
And Jeff Reisman's paying for it. Sure.
Jeff's paying?
Sure he is.
Yeah, we got the AM 560 corporate card. So
we can buy balls, too.
We're going to pull up a shopping cart to the pro shop, too, when we're done.
I do like Uncle Jeff. He's a good man.
Yes, he is. Now, so tell us a little bit about Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling and sort of your business model. I know it's a family business, too. You've got your sons and daughter working for you, so that's kind of cool. But a little bit more about what you guys do and who your client targets are.
We're a family-owned business, as Dan mentioned, and I have my 2 sons and daughter working. We do mostly residential installs, new furnaces. We do new construction. We do about 25% commercial, replacement of rooftop units, ductwork, a build-out. We do new homes. We do hydronic heating. We pretty much cover it all.
We were having this conversation over fine cigars and cocktails by the pool, but just relay your perspective on people that choose not to go to college and the opportunities to work with your hands in industries like HVAC, and just your perspective on it. Somebody who didn't go to college and built this business, and now your family working for you.
I have a grandson that's going to graduate next year, and they kind of told him he wasn't college. He wasn't ready for college, So I told him, I said, listen, you can make a good money in the trades. You can make a decent dollar in the trades. Nothing wrong with working with your hands. I mean, I did it, and I'm fairly successful doing it. There's nothing wrong with working with your hands. College is not for everybody unless you really, my opinion, unless you're really going to be a certain doctor or a certain business or a certain...
Like
it's
a
just
niche,
not
like
for
an
everybody.
engineer
or an engineer or something that you specifically have a goal at. If you're just going to go and not sure what you're going to do and you're going to spend all that money on college and have a loan on your back for the next 20 years, in my opinion, it's not worth it.
Right, and then you work, and you learn all the aspects of a business by doing, right, which is sort of what you did.
Yes, I was always working with my hands. I did take a little bit of college courses, junior college for business, because you got the work end of it and the business end of it, and I was never good at the business end of it, but you can always hire somebody. But for anybody that wants to get in the trades, be HVAC, carpenter, bricklayer, whatever it is, welder, there's nothing wrong with that. You can make a very good living doing just that.
So is your grandson going to follow in your footsteps, or are you still working on him?
I don't know what he's going to do yet. He's
got
another year. I don't know what he's going to do.
Garrett, you've been on a lot of these trips with us. So compare Nueva Vallarta to Riviera Maya to Punta Cana to all the other trips you've gone on.
This one's great. I mean, they're all great. Some have better things than others, but this one is great. I mean, we had a great time today at the pool. You're sitting there at the pool. They're waiting on you hand and foot. You're looking at the ocean. You got good company. Well, Dan was there too, but you got good company.
I think he Joe Biden you at one point in time. I did see the reach around, and I just want to know, did you feel uncomfortable? Answer the question.
I'm affectionate.
I'm not sure what happened though.
Oh, I've got pictures and I can tweet them out at Amy Jacobson. Yeah,
no, they're great. I mean, Jeff and the radio station, and Apple, they do a wonderful job. I mean, this is really and everybody. It's just it's like being with family that you haven't seen in a long time.
Yep.
And it's great.
That's a good way to describe it, and we're happy that you're here again. You and Carol are here. He is Garrett Vespo, the company Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, and we're coming to you from the Marival Distinct Luxury Residences in Nueva Vallarta on our Passport to Paradise trip.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson. Have you heard about Online Trading Academy? They're the leader in trading and investment education. They have courses throughout Chicagoland, including East Peoria, Valparaiso, and Lombard. I know because I took one of their classes. I learned so much about the markets and trading and shorting the markets. Don't let someone else make money off your investments. Take control of your financial future. Call Online Trading Academy now at 844-778-7132. That's 844-778-7132. Again, I was so impressed with Online Trading Academy, and I signed up for my own free class, and you can too. You know, market volatility is real, folks. And imagine if you knew when to get out of the market before it falls so you could protect your life savings. Sign up for your free class now at 844-778-7132 or online at otaclass.com. That's otaclass.com.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real. It happens every day. You can recover. Discover hope and help.
Never give up on yourself.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Democrats are ready to question the Attorney General. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. At a hearing in a half hour at the House, it's supposed to be about his budget, but it'll likely focus on the Russia probe. Fox's John Decker's live at the White House.
House Democrats plan to grill the Attorney General about his handling of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's final report and his decision-making process in crafting the 4-page summary of Mueller's findings that there was no Russia conspiracy. Barr has said that he was aiming to release a public version of the report by mid-April. Democrats have demanded that Congress receive the full unredacted report and all of its underlying evidence, including possible obstruction of justice. House Appropriations Committee Chairwoman Nita Lowey will also use her opening statement to criticize what she calls Barr's unacceptable handling of the Mueller report. Dave?
John, there's another federal court ruling against the Trump administration's immigration policy, blocking officials from sending immigrants who seek asylum here back to Mexico to wait. The judge ruled it's unsafe to the migrants. President Trump tweeted, "So unfair to the U.S., out of control." The day after the Taliban bombed a convoy near a NATO base in Afghanistan, killing 3 American troops, we learn one of them was a New York City firefighter. Carrie Drew is with Fox 5 TV outside his station.
There is a flag lowered to half-staff to remember the life of FDNY firefighter Christopher Slutman. According to the FDNY, Slutman was a decorated 15-year veteran of the department and a married father of 3 children who also served as a U.S. Marine.
In Iran, a Death to America chant in the parliament, with some Iranian lawmakers dressed in paramilitary uniforms. The day after the U.S. declared Iran's Revolutionary Guards a terrorist organization. It's a happy day at the University of Virginia.
I'm so happy.
Fans partied into the night after Virginia beat Texas Tech in overtime to win the college basketball national championship. This is Fox News.
In Chicago, sunshine and 48 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. This morning in the Chicago Tribune, we're following a developing story first reported there as Illinois health officials now report 154 confirmed cases of a rapidly spreading and potentially deadly fungal disease. It has a high concentration here, according to the Tribune report. That total makes Illinois the state with the second highest number of cases of Candida aureus in the nation, only behind New York. The fungus is frequently resistant to drug treatment and particularly dangerous to older and sick patients who have had invasive medical procedures. In cases where the fungus invades the heart, blood, or brain, more than 1 in 3 patients die. State officials are saying this morning they do not have statistics available on deaths in Illinois. The disease was first found in Japan in 2009 and is now in more than 20 countries. It reached this state in 2016. In other news we're following this morning, Chicago officials are holding off on a vote on 2 massive city projects. City Council Finance Committee delaying voting yesterday on $2 billion in property tax subsidies for the Lincoln Yards and 78 proposals.
So we need to make sure that there's enough transparency so that people in the neighborhoods are going to be most directly affected feel like they understand what the nature of the project is, the impacts on them, and that their voices are heard. The
move comes after Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot weighed in and discussed postponing that vote with Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Striking symphony orchestra musicians in Chicago rejecting a contract proposal that management has described as their last, best, and final offer. Chicago sports, Cubs crushed the Pirates in the home opener 10-0. Rays 5-1 winners over the White Sox at Guaranteed Rate Field. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, you can own a piece of the eye care company Alcon starting today. Alcon's going public on the New York Stock Exchange and will trade on the Swiss exchange as well. Alcon is a top maker of contact lenses. It also makes products used in eye surgery. Wynn Resorts is talking with Australia's Crown Resorts about buying the business for about $7.1 billion. Crown operates casinos in Australia and London. Wynn Resorts has 2 casinos in Las Vegas, 2 in Macau, and is building a 5th in Massachusetts. Analysts at Wedbush are expressing optimism about Apple. They're predicting Apple shares will rise to $225. The stock closed Monday at just over $200 a share. Wedbush says Apple has been discounting iPhones in China and demand is turning around there. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
It's 8:05. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder explains how things are getting better in America.
You look at the after-tax income of the top 1% since 79, and it's grown impressively, but so has the growth of the bottom of the country also grown. And as a result of falling prices here in this country, more Americans have more income left after basic expenses. Things are getting better in America.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
It was a brutally cold, harsh winter. Pothole season is bad. Guess what? Your commercial building parking lot took a beating too. Take care of it now to prevent further damage. Time to get a great parking lot. Great Parking Lots, a local company with decades of great parking lots for Chicagoland. Get a quote.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great Parking Lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great.
Commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. Get a great parking lot. They use a special process that not only works well, but lasts longer. It's a great investment for your business or for your commercial building to have a great parking lot. It's the first impression for everyone in the building and people visiting the building. And you can do business with a company that shares your values.
I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Check it out. GreatParkingLots.com.
GreatParkingLots.com. GreatParkingLots.com.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
It's 8:08. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Inbound Kennedy traffic is jammed. Cumberland to the Burns Circle. It is an hour and 18 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 42 minutes from Montrose. 30 in the Express. Outbound 40 minutes to the airport. Edens runs 27 minutes. Lake Cook to the Junction. Outbound 34. The Eisenhower an hour and 17 minutes. 390 to downtown. 55 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 50 minutes to 390. Stevenson an hour and 7 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 38 minutes. The Rhine is 35 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57 Bishop toward 25 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Southbound Lakeshore Drive is heavy Montrose to North Avenue. Eastbound I-80 is a mess. Paducah Interchange before Hobart with a wreck. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, and our meteorologist is Steve Williams.
Today, partly sunny with a high 65. Colder tonight, increasing cloudiness, low 35. Breezy with periods of rain tomorrow, high 41. Cloudy, breezy Thursday, shower and thunderstorm, the high Thursday, 53. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
49 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour Radio Show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshale Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. Now it's time sitting in for Dan and Amy for Brucey Wolf and Sean Thompson. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hey, give us a call on the Turnkey.pro answer line at 312-642-5600. That's 312-642-5600. Sean coming up at approximately 8:34:50. Tyler Cowan, professor of economics at George Mason University, writes for the blog Marginal Revolution. His new book is Big Business, which is due out today. And, you know, big business gets a bad rap. But did you know that America has like the top, like 54% of the best big businesses in the world, and the rest of the world is dwarfed in comparison? And that's important because big business creates lots of jobs and lots of wealth. And so we're going to talk to him about it. It gets a bad rap,
well,
as you well know.
The problem, I have a real problem even with this class structure of big business. If it's a business that profits from its political campaign contributions, it's not really a business. It's a money laundering scheme, right?
Right.
So are we going to talk about actual business? Because to me, in my world, business suffers the consequences of its actions, good or bad. That's all that matters to me. I'm not interested in the size of it. So if it uses its money to protect its industry and become a welfare queen,
right,
and then keep away business, it's not really business. So if that's what he's going to argue
about, it's a government
about,
agency.
if we're going to support that all of a sudden, then we might as well throw the towel in.
I don't think he's in favor.
I hope not, because I'm going to put him on the grill, baby.
Now, here's a question we won't ask him. I won't put him on the grill over because he's from George Mason University, and George Mason University was in the news yesterday because apparently Brett Kavanaugh of the Supreme Court has been named a visiting law professor at George Mason University. But he's not even going to go to the George Mason University where it is in the States. He's going to be going to England. He's specifically a Runnymede where the Magna Carta was signed, lo those many years. And he's going to, so he's 3,500 miles away. And yet there are some very sensitive students at George Mason University who filed a protest. And the university is taking it seriously. They're actually talking about it. They filed a protest because they feel that having Brett Kavanaugh as a somewhat tenuous member of the George Mason University staff has made the students feel unsafe.
Didn't we already cover stampeding the useful idiots? I mean, I know we have favoritism when they're our kids.
So there we
go.
go.
But useful idiots nonetheless.
Yeah, poor Brett Kavanaugh. Can't even go across the sea.
Oh, don't cry
to lecture
for him too
people.
much.
Not too much.
He's got a job he can never be fired from.
Plus, he's siding with Roberts right now, and he's not going to be as conservative.
And
as,
if you're important, you can be dead and still pretend you have the job. Ginsburg.
All right. Our running gag this morning is that Dr. Dow, you recall Dr. Dow, he is the guy who was dragged off the United Airlines flight.
It's your running gag. I want no part of it.
Why don't you, Sean? I mean, you can veto this if you don't want to
No,
talk
no,
about
go
it.
ahead. I see
news.
how much pleasure it brings you.
He's finally resurfaced.
And I've come to know you enough where you need the pleasure.
You know, all the injuries have healed, apparently. Although the psychic wounds. He's the guy who was dragged off the United Airlines flight. Got, who knows what he got. The rumors are he got 7 figures plus lifetime membership in the Red Carpet Burn Club. I said the Red Carpet Burn Club. Okay. Anyway, he's on Good Morning
I want to
America.
know what the slip and fall lawyer with the disheveled shirt got. That's all I want.
Tom Demetrio, a third probably.
Scout.
A third. I mean, that press conference was classic. He tried to compare what Dr. Dow went through with United Airlines when he threw a tantrum, basically. Let us show that he threw a tantrum. He was contributory negligent.
Only good thing about communism, no slip and fall lawyers.
He threw a tantrum, and everybody else got off the flight. They got their little voucher for a couple of $100. He gets 7 figures over this. What were they supposed to do? Because he's a doctor and he's more important than everybody else. So he was an elitist.
Can you imagine being on the flight and you're subjected to waiting for this morphodite to catch a beating and get dragged off? This is when a passenger should have stood up and knocked them out.
As he was being dragged off, I would have spilled the remains of my tomato juice cocktail on him. And I could have gotten sued too. But he was on Good Morning America this morning because we have to talk to him, and here's what he had to say.
You can hear you screaming in pain.
Like a girl.
I don't know, I just cry.
I believe he said that he cried.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, here's another one.
Do you remember how quickly things escalated?
I think very fast. I think very quick.
Like Bob Kraft.
There we go.
Very fast.
What was that like for you as a father to see her standing up for you and talking about what happened?
I just cry.
Yeah.
Guy cries a lot, huh?
Later on, I watch TV. I just cry.
I believe that his daughter was trotted out by Tom Demetrio, the attorney for Dr. Dow, at that big press conference. And it was a very smart play because she's got to be the only one in the family who thinks her father isn't nutso. I'd like to take the deposition of everybody in the family. What do you think of your father who throws a tantrum and pulls rank over the other passengers on the flight?
Did he cry when he got the settlement check? Tears of joy? And
here's what was it like for you as a father to see her standing up for you and talking about what happened?
I just cry.
Yeah.
First of all, you could stick me in a wood chipper. I'm not going to scream like
Later
that.
When I watch TV, I just cry.
All right, and here's more.
How did you handle all of that attention?
Get the point, I have to hide him.
Could you go to work? Could you leave the house?
No.
Oh, he lost income.
I stay for months in the house.
Stayed for months in the house because of that.
Yeah, like a
All
Democrat.
right, so he's got some damages there.
Look at
But
you.
I would say, hey, Dr. Dow, I mean, you didn't get off the flight. I mean, everybody, see, it was a great case because everybody hates the airlines.
Stayed in your house a month and a half. How do I know you're not the Democrat base? So what?
Everybody hates the airlines. So naturally they sided with Dr. Dow.
Well, the most important thing is the accident turned out the positive way. Airline business willing to change policy.
Yeah,
You're forgiven?
Yes.
What would you say to those men who pulled you off the plane if they were
Thank
sitting
you.
here?
I'm not angry with them.
Not angry.
They have the job to do. They have to do. If they don't do it, they may lose the job. So I'm not.
Dr. Dow, I'd
I'm
like
not
to
angry
ask
with
you,
them or anything like this.
are you more
That's their
important?
job.
Dr. Dow! Stop interrupting me.
Jeez.
Dr. Dow, are you more important than the other passengers on the plane? Well, then, Dr. Dow, I mean, shouldn't you have gotten off the flight just like everybody else did? Like a decent, normal American citizen would have gotten off the flight, file a complaint. But are you more important because you're a doctor and you had patients? If you're so important, why don't you hire a Gulfstream, Dr. Dow?
He probably named his Rolls Royces after the two guys that beat the hell out of him. You kidding me? That's the greatest beating in American history.
I would have taken that. I would have
million.
taken the dragging out of the plane.
You're almost going to get one for nothing.
That's what I hear, Sean. Don't threaten me like that, man. All right. Should we take a call from Chuck?
Why not?
Chuck from Delavan, Wisconsin. Hi, Chuck.
Hey, you guys got me all worked up here with this death from Iran to the United States. Our last administration, Mr.
Did I talk
Obama,
about that?
if you
Wait a
look
minute.
up,
Do I have a brain tumor? Did we talk about that?
Probably not, but he's
All right,
on a
go
roll.
ahead.
Go ahead,
it was
Chuck.
on the
Yeah.
news.
Oh,
yeah.
It was on the news.
Yeah, all right.
Death to the United States from Iran, September 27, 2012. Our last president let those people be alive by selling millions of metric tons of wheat to that country so they could live. I think that our next current administration right now, Mr. Trump, the next time there's a Russian blight and they can't get any wheat, they should starve them guys out, and that'll be the end of their death to U.S.
Thank you, Chuck. Hey, we just designated.
We can't do that, though, because we subsidize our farmers not to produce.
Look, we just named
scam.
the IRGC, that Revolutionary Guard Corps. We just designated them terrorists yesterday. And, of course, there was a great hue and cry that we shouldn't do that. We should not do that. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't designate terrorists because they might terrorize us if we say what they are.
Before the CIA got involved in Iran, did we have any of these problems? I don't remember. Did we?
Oh, no. Here we got the conspiracy
Are you out of your
theorists.
mind? We created the problem.
Oh, sure.
Here we are, the victim of it.
All
In the
right.
meantime,
'Cause
trillions.
Saddam Hussein was going to remain static, and he was going to be wonderful.
Remind me to buy Boeing stock.
Don from Bloomingdale. Hello.
Hey, guys, should we be thanking this doctor? Because as a result of this incident, didn't the Chicago police force get rid of the Chicago Airport security force as a result of it? So isn't he really helping us downsize government?
No, isn't that wonderful?
They didn't get rid of it. They just don't have to pretend to go in anymore. You still got the same 64 connected
Thank you,
guys
Don.
driving around in trucks. They just don't have to walk through the
That
airport.
was an unintended great consequence. Don just reminded us of.
Yeah, sure you can.
All right. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560 The Answer.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why aren't more things in life customizable? Like, why do I have to pay a full gym membership when I don't even use all the equipment? Like the rowing machine. I don't know about you, but I'm not doing a ton of manual lake travel these days.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Napa know-how.
It's Love Your Car Month at Napa. And to show your car the love, get a Napa bucket for $2.99 and save 20% on almost everything you can fit inside, like car wash, car wax, and tire shine. So save some cash and look good doing it by getting 20% off with the Napa bucket. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores, exclusions apply. Minimum 3 items may not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 4/30/19.
Dan's friends who send their sons to Northridge Prep rave how refreshing it is to partner with a school that reinforces the traditional values you hold as parents. Here's what this current Northridge Prep mom had to say. Quote, as parents, we don't have a manual. A lot of the teachers here have seen years of boys They are comforting. They share their knowledge and guidance and are willing to work with you. They're not judging. There's no looking at a boy and saying they're rambunctious. They've seen it all. It's nice to partner with a school that wants the best for your son and is on the same page. I truly feel that if I have a question, concern, or issue, there's always someone ready to listen and suggest ways I can help him at home and how they can support him. It's a great community of parents who are all in the same boat and feel the same way. You walk in and feel your son is taken care of. There's a warmth and a trust that comes from being a part of this community. End quote. So contact northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
Hey, Chicagoland, you deserve to love where you live, so why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at the Pheasant Run Resort in St. Charles. With free admission and free parking, find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home. Inside and out. See the latest products and services and speak with experts in kitchens and baths, windows and siding, landscaping, lawn and tree care, flooring, painting, heating and air, and even solar power and green energy systems. Plus, enjoy live cooking shows, free seminars, and exciting demonstrations. And save big on quality indoor and outdoor furniture and accessories, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor. You'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at the Pheasant Run Resort Mega Center off Route 64 in St. Charles with free admission and free parking. For details, visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com. pheasantrunhomeshow.com.
Feeling sore from working out hard, maybe doing some spring cleaning, or do you want to boost your immune system? Well, if either of those are interest you, then you should try Balance of Nature. It is 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies, all in a single capsule. No preservatives, no dyes. And you hear the testimonials here on the air all the time. And let me tell you, they are real. Okay, folks? And the price of fruits and veggies is about to go up. But if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price for the fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. But you've got to use the promo code Chicago. Use that when you call. And the number there is 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560.
The Answer. Buenos dias, Dan and Amy, coming to you from the Marival Distinct Luxury Residences in Nueva Vallarta. We're on our Passport to Paradise vacation, don't you know? And Amy, I don't know if you were hanging out with the kids. I went to this Chalupa Fest or some such thing over on the beach. Chula Fest. Which is Chala Fest, which is a Jewish bread. I don't know why they have a Jewish bread fest here. I'm still looking into that, but maybe Bruce Wolf can help out with that. But there's like a bunch of kids, and there's like a dance party.
Yeah, and then they had the bouncy house, and they had the.
It's weird to have a bouncy house with teenagers. Something I don't really understand the connection.
And then they had a volleyball court, and it was similar to Lollapalooza. It was a B version of Lollapalooza. Yeah, they had different acts. No, not maybe when you were there, but during the day there were acts.
Well, but I mean, like Nine Inch Nails acts, or like
Tears for Fears. No,
like that Michael Jackson impersonator, like R. Kelly.
They're local performers that were out there performing. They're jugglers.
So it's like,
and then they had bungee cord jumping.
Fest, basically.
Kind of, yeah. But a lot of kids showed up. It was packed.
Yeah.
And they're very loud. So all I heard all night was. And they told me that we'll
Calvin
never.
Harris, that's pretty good.
They will never. It's only one night, so they let me know that was last night.
Chalupa Fest was one night only.
It was all day and all night. It stopped at 2 a.m.
That was fun. It was interesting. And they got a volleyball court there, too, so you're organizing a volleyball league with the kids in the bouncy house.
The bottom line is it's a small net, and I will kill everybody who approaches it. I'm very fierce as a middle hitter.
Are you going to have anybody play with you? Or?
No, I'm going to get 2 teams. I'm going to be the captain.
Oh, okay.
I already recruited you. You're my first draft pick.
Oh, I'm always the last to know.
Well, because you're going to mean serve. You don't have a high toss. You kind of get to it. You toss. You get a high toss. You don't waste time. And then if you throw it up higher with a wind, there's a margin of error. So you just throw it up and hit it. So
back in my day, I was thought to be the next Karch Karai, but my bum knee.
Yeah. Well, wait, did you even have boys volleyball? Because when I was growing up in high school, we didn't have boys volleyball.
No, because back when I was in high school, boys didn't play girls' sports.
Okay, it's not a girl. Listen, our kids aren't getting basketball scholarships ever, but they are in boys volleyball.
Unless you're on the Olympic team, I don't even recognize it.
You don't even recognize it?
Yeah. Now it's like ping pong. That's a guy sport.
See, now
we
ping
have to play
pong.
ping pong. So every year we've done this, we played ping pong where I've dominated you and the rest of who's ever here, not just the attendees with us, but I mean who's ever on the premises.
Oh, okay.
And so
You know,
I'd
I'll
like to
give you
continue that streak, but I haven't seen a ping pong table. Maybe we could have Jeff Reisman scramble one for us.
So here's a good thing about Marval Distinct Luxury Residence.
What's that?
That you can take a shuttle to the other property, which is the resort.
Yeah.
And they do have ping pong there.
Okay, well,
and they
we'll
have
go.
a lot, and they have a sports bar, and they have a lot of different things that we can
All
partake
right, so
in.
we'll go, and I'll take on all comers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you could dominate. I really do. I believe that.
We agree. We're in full agreement.
Wait, we don't agree about anything.
Yeah, except in the volleyball thing, I'll pick up the slack on your team.
Okay, fine.
All right, we'll report back the results. Dan and Amy coming to you from Marvel Distinct Luxury Residences in Nuevo Vallarta.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
AM 560.
The Answer. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Did you hear Dan talking about the Jewish bread down there? He called challah, which is close enough.
All I knew is
It's
when I
challah.
heard him mention your name, I knew you heard it also.
Certainly.
Uh-huh.
My ears were burning. And I should put some SPF 30 on
How about a little more
there.
Dr. Dow clip? You got anything?
All right. You know, I know that you don't like the Dr. Dow talk, but it's a local story.
Give him my clip, Justin, will you please?
He's so All right.
That's the Bob Kraft clip. Sorry.
Let's go to Steve from Evanston. Good morning, Steve.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I just wanted to know, since the world is ending in 12 years, do we still have to fund everybody's pension
Good
funds?
question. Good question, Steve.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. You know, the problem is
Pension
that
funds go on even after the world.
AOC is not the only person who's guilty of this kind of thing. Of
course not.
I mean, the Republicans, what is the whole point of Donald Trump?
Listen.
The whole point of Donald Trump is that we kick the can down the road and that we don't reform entitlements because that's a loser argument. Nobody wants to pay for anything.
As he proved to you on Friday when he demanded more quantitative easing
Exactly.
and more manipulated interest rates. And our friend Stephen Moore said, good, put me on the Fed board. I'm in too. So that's always going to
We're
be.
also going to get Herman Cain.
Because people don't want the truth. And here's
Yeah.
the other thing. When you
Yeah.
look at this situation that we are in, that is used as a weapon against Steve and Bruce and me,
Exactly.
you look at the scheme of pensions, you realize it was always a Ponzi scheme. And they knew it. The money bundlers that sold it paid off the politicians that voted on it.
Governor Edgar did that too.
It's a scam.
Somebody once knew.
And now you
called him Governor Hairspray. Yes.
And then you wrote it in the Constitution of the state that no matter what it is to never be touched. So you screwed us in perpetuity.
You know who was the only
It's
person,
brilliant.
the only mayoral candidate who came out for a reform of the Constitution? Bill Daley.
It's
Bill
please.
Daley. You think that Lori Lightfoot knows what to do about the pension crisis in Chicago?
It's like all the
No.
mobsters that are in jail for having the black market poker games. How they must just be sitting there going, are you kidding me? All I had to do was pay off a Republican and I'm in?
Could have legalized the whole thing.
Stupid.
All right, coming up after the news, we're going to be talking to a man who's written a book about the anti-hero in America, and that would be big business, which gets a bad rap. We'll give it a good one. Now let's go to the newsroom. And Mike Scott.
Blue skies. It's sunshine right now, but cooler temperatures on the way. We'll hit a high of 65 later today. Attorney General William Barr will be testifying before Congress before a House budget hearing, but he will not get any budget questions except perhaps a few pro forma ones. He's expected to be buzzed about his release of the summary of the Mueller report. The ACLU warning immigrants and people of color not to travel to Florida. The organization issuing a travel advisory due to a pending immigration bill being considered by that state. The Plains and Upper Midwest, well, we're bracing for a late-season winter storm as forecasters predict up to 2 feet of snow in Nebraska, South Dakota, and Minnesota, where some blizzard warnings are likely. Congressman Eric Swalwell of California making a run for the White House.
None of that is going to change until we get a leader who is willing to go big on the issues we take on, be bold in the solutions we offer, and do good in the way that we govern. I'm ready to solve these problems. I'm running for president of the United States.
Swalwell likely running for vice president, raising his profile and fighting against rising student debt. Measles cases keep popping up across the U.S. Nearly 100 new cases reported last week. The CDC says 465 cases have been recorded in 19 states since the beginning of the new year. Illinois health officials reporting 154 confirmed cases of a rapidly spreading and potentially deadly fungal disease with a high concentration here in the Chicago area. No one is in custody after a 14-year-old girl was seriously wounded in a Chicago shooting inside an apartment complex on the south side. Bail set at $3 million for a man accused of stabbing his brother-in-law to death in Wheaton. Pilot appeared in DuPage County Court yesterday on charges of murder. And an Illinois man is behind bars and facing possible reckless homicide charges in the deaths of 3 family members from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Authorities say the pickup driver was intoxicated and speeding when he slammed into the back of a vehicle in Salem Lakes, killing a doctor, a dentist, and the dentist's wife, a nurse. Sheriff's officials say the driver of the pickup had a prior drunken driving charge, a valid Illinois driver's license, but his Wisconsin license was revoked. Cubs crushed the Pirates 10-0 in their home opener at Wrigley Field. Blake Snell won the AL Cy Young last year and proved why, beating the White Sox 5-1 with 11 strikeouts. The news service of Accountemps, finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals can be a challenge. Accountemps can help. With Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors, you can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps to learn more. Accountemps.com, a Robert Half company. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher wants Republicans to show support for our president.
The Republicans have to strategize in ways that sometimes don't involve President Trump's fingerprint. Now, that made me sick to my stomach. You better dance with the lady who brung you. You better go with Donald Trump because he's the face of the party, and he's the guy that is largely getting it all done alone. And I want to see Republicans line up behind him.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why aren't more things in life customizable? Like, why do I have to pay a full gym membership when I don't even use all the equipment? Like the rowing machine. I don't know about you, but I'm not doing a ton of manual lake travel these days.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Napa know-how.
It's Love Your Car Month at Napa. And to show your car the love, get a Napa bucket for $2.99 and save 20% on almost everything you can fit inside, like car wash, car wax, and tire shine. So save some cash and look good doing it by getting 20% off with the Napa bucket. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores, exclusions apply. Minimum 3 items may not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 4/30/19.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Daspin & Allment needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It is 8:36. Let's get a check of the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
355, the northbound Veterans Memorial is jammed. I-55 to Boughton Road, crash in the left lane. It's also heavy from 75th to the Reagan Tollway at North Avenue to 290. Southbound 53 is bottled up. Grand Road to Kirchhoff. Eden's 26 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose up on 28. Kennedy, an hour and 9 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 47 minutes from Montrose. 30 in the Express. Eisenhower, an hour and 8 minutes. 390 to downtown. 51 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour and 7 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 35 minutes. 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, it's heavy. Cicero Road, 83rd Street Toll, the Stevenson to 31st, Reagan Tollway to Balmoral. It's traffic. I'm Jim Alamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Partly sunny and 65 today. Outside, 52 at O'Hare, 53 in Lakefront, 47 in Aurora, and your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't miss the online auction in Elk Grove Village, featuring hundreds of lots of tooling, forklifts, maintenance, and shop support equipment. Ends this Wednesday and Thursday. Bid online at hilcoind.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay.
And I inhale. I did inhale.
On AM 560.
I think that it gives a lot of joy.
Come on, Sean.
Employee of the Month, Kamala Harris. You stepped right all over.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kamala Harris. She's
Employee of the Month in my office.
It's all a bunch of white guys that are going to get the Democratic nomination or vying for it. Now you got Eric Swallow.
I don't do race
entered the fray.
Politics. It doesn't matter to me what race
They do.
it is.
All right, Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. So, big business is getting a bad rap in the United, from both the left and the right. I mean, it's the populist thing to do. Elizabeth Warren wants a wealth tax. That's going to kill the wealth, the investment opportunities that create businesses. Into the fray enters Tyler Cowen. He's a professor of economics at George Mason University, writes for the blog Marginal Revolution, and he's got a new book called Big Business, which is due out today. Professor Cowen, thanks for joining us this morning.
Hello, good morning.
So, big business does get a bad rap, but here's a little statistic I found. The top 1% of U.S. companies create 1/3 of the new long-term jobs in the United States. So, we're always talking about Main Street and the little guy and everything, and that's all well and good, but big business is important for moving America forward, no?
Yes, and jobs with big business, they tend to pay better. Big business also tends to be relatively socially conscious because it cares more about its reputation. So today I think big business is getting a very bad rap.
So I am for organic big business, absolutely and unequivocally. I love when companies can provide a service so well that they maintain their market share and grow it. So I do not have a problem with that. I do, however, have a problem with subsidies, with protectionism, with guaranteed monopolies by bastardizing government to create that favoritism. So I reject companies like Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I find them to be nothing but up to skullduggery on many levels, along with Boeing or these other monopoly interwoven hybrid companies that are guaranteed the absence of competition. You're not supporting those, are you?
I agree fully with your view. If I had my way, it would be zero tariffs and zero subsidies for business.
Now I love you. See?
Sean, if you had read Chapter 5, How Monopolistic is American Big Business, which starts on page 83.
2 teenage daughters, a middle-aged wife, 3 jobs. The doctor knows why I didn't read the whole book. He gets it.
Sean, Your question.
Now, I love the idea of the concept of Amazon. I argued the entire time this company did not produce a profit for 21 years. Now, did it do that because it had so much of the market concept that it was able to sustain itself from stock value, or were they also practicing corporatism on a mass level?
Jeff Bezos had a long-term perspective. He's kept on reinvesting funds into Amazon, building warehouses, distribution networks, moving into new product lines. For the most thing, that's been a big positive. You can't say there's zero corporate cronyism in Amazon, but it's relatively low compared to the value they create.
So the top 100 companies in the world, we have 54 of them. And the next closest is China, and that's not even close. They have only 12. Also, our big companies are much younger than, the rest of the world has like Unilever, or Lever, whatever it's called, and Nestle's. We've got Apple and the like. So we're booming. It's actually working for us, and yet they get the bad rap.
One of the biggest problems Europe has is that most of its corporate champions are 40, 50, 60 years old or more. America has the tech sector. China, of course, that's encouraging, but business really is America's greatest strength, and our managers are consistently rated the best in the world.
Now, Professor, I have a question for you. I have watched as conservatism and the Republican agenda has morphed into a Keynesian, happy, protectionist economic policy, and it's cheered. The only problem I have is that the only alternative put forward by politics is outright socialism. So are we just losing at slow motion, or is there an optimistic view? Can capitalism ultimately overtake the bastardization of it that it's endured for 80 years?
At this moment, I do think we're losing in slow motion, but in the longer run, I have greater faith in the dynamic properties of capitalism than the abilities of intellectuals to wreck the system with bad arguments. But it's an ongoing struggle, and I hope my book is part of that.
Well, one of the things that raps against big business is that it not only dwarfs, but it swallows up small business. And yet, and this shouldn't be counterintuitive, big business supports small business. Small business supplies to big business. Big business helps actually create small business. Am I right about that?
Absolutely. And, the relative degree of big or small business, it's always changing over time. I don't think one should try to target any specific level. In most cases, just letting consumers decide where to spend their money is the best way to go.
Is it time for the capitalists to come together? And the idea, for lack of a better word, and I hate to use it because it's an American communist word, should the capitalists somehow form a union and unite over the concept of free markets and capitalism? Because my biggest fear is I found you found the radio show, we're talking to an infinitesimal part of society. I feel that the capitalists in America are just evaporating, and they're being swallowed up by the bad ideas of corporatism. And I watched this in the Donald Trump administration. He's hired what I think are arguably the biggest economic frauds on the planet. From Lighthouser to Wilbur Ross to Navarro. To me, these are not capitalists. And I've watched the capitalists in his administration, both Moore and Kudlow, transform into the Keynesians. What can we do to fight this off?
We would be best friends if we knew each other, I suspect. I think it's incumbent on people who are on radio or who have platforms through the worlds of blogs and books, television, to really make this case. I think the American people have a pro-business attitude. They see...
you know what? We've been jammed by the Trump administration.
Sure, you didn't
right
just
now.
hang up on him because you like interrupting people?
Actually, we enjoyed talking.
I loved him.
It was great. Well, let's plug the book again. A Love Letter to an American Anti-Hero. Big Business by Tyler Cowen. It's out today. Thanks so much, Tyler Cowen, for joining us this morning. Sorry, it was truncated.
I was only kidding
like
when
that.
I said
or
it.
truncated. Yes.
I didn't read the whole book, but I read a lot of it.
I read
and
none
you know
of
something?
Yes.
It had so much of that Ayn Rand true homage to liberty, freedom, and what true business is, and it had that Austrian slant on it. I did get nervous when we started to talk about how good big banks are because I feel that they have completely bastardized trading and they've monopolized it. They've pulled it into the shadows, and you have a parabolic market without any coupling to the reality of the economics.
Now, I hate to all of a sudden become, like Tucker Carlson right here and get my populist streak going, but don't you have a problem when Zuckerberg runs social media and conservatives are profiled, and then they don't really have access to Facebook? Ditto for Twitter.
Not at all, because there's a
Where's
combination.
the competition?
He did it by making sure, and you're hearing him last week talk about how we need more big government regulating the internet. So he did it in an unfettered internet. The problem also is we're too fracking lazy to build a machine that competes with him. Or we're too ignorant or complacent.
You just said it took 21 years for Bezos to get Amazon on the roll.
It's a participation game. If you don't participate, you lose. That's the philosophy. You don't like Facebook? Come up with Butt Book. Maybe everyone will want to look at Bruce Wolf's Butt Book. Fine. But don't complain because you're too lazy to compete. That makes you
It's just going to take an awful long time.
That's what it makes you a Democrat.
It's going to take a long time. I worry about it, but there are monopolistic practices, and that's why we have antitrust laws.
There is no monopoly bigger than the federal government, and there is no monopoly that can operate without assistance from the government. Monopolies come and go because they can't stay competitive. They only stay when they have protection from government.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560 The Answer.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560 The Answer.
My name is Stefan Saporta, and I am a proud sponsor of AM 560's Food for the Poor campaign. I am also the principal attorney of one of the premier mortgage foreclosure defense firms in the state of Illinois. Since 2009, colleagues have turned to us for both instruction and guidance, and many have referred their clients to us. By zealously defending their cases in court, we have enabled many homeowners to qualify for loan modifications and other alternatives to foreclosure. We have even defeated the banks outright in a handful of cases, saving our clients hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process. Give our offices a call to learn more about your rights and how we can help you protect and preserve your home. 815-741-9400. Support law offices. Quality legal representation at reasonable rates. Our number again is 815-741-9400. Thank you.
With spring in full swing, it's time to think about your sump pump. And don't forget a battery backup. Important stuff. Just as important is who you contact for help, and that would be PermaSeal, of course. If you have a sump pump, it needs to be checked to make sure it's working properly. A battery backup is your safeguard in the event of a pump failure or power outage. Remember that all sump pumps fail. It's not a matter of if, but when. Independent lab results show that PermaSeal battery backup systems are your best value in backup sump pump protection. Since 1979, PermaSeal has been providing dry, healthy basements and crawl spaces to more than 400,000 homeowners all over Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. Get the peace of mind that comes with a dry basement or crawl space. Call 800-421-SEAL to schedule your free, no-obligation inspection. If you're concerned about your sump pump system, you know who to call. PermaSeal at 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325. Or go to permaseal.net.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
Now, these are probably the best supplements I've ever had. I've cut out all the other stuff I'm taking and stuff like that. I went completely off the blood pressure meds almost immediately. So it's definitely, you can see a huge difference.
I fell from my chair and I crushed my heel. I feel that has gotten better since I've been taking Balance of Nature.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Gentlemen, are you taking care of your skin? Probably not. Probably not the way you should, which is why I want to introduce you to Tiege Hanley. It's a Chicago company that is doing something about how men think about and treat their skin. I am one of those men who is rethinking what I'm doing about my skin. Started by 4 guys who know how guys think, the company Tiege Hanley.
It's simple, affordable, effective. Also, you don't have to shop through their subscription service. All the product is delivered directly to your door. No hidden fees or inflated costs. They have 3 skincare systems. Each include their wash, scrub, and moisturizers with SPF 20. Protect your skin when you're active outside, as we're hopefully entering spring sometime soon. So go to Teej.com/DanProft. Use the promo code Dan20, Dan the number 20, and that gets you 20% off your first box. Teej.com, TIEGE.com/DanProft. Use the promo code Dan20.
When you hire a new employee, do you really know who you're hiring? What if you could do thorough research on potential employees and avoid future HR conflicts and trouble? It may sound like a daunting task, but with ETS Intelligence LLC, it's easy to get all the info on a potential hire. ETS is one of the leading private detective and security agencies in the U.S. Their client roster includes major law firms, insurance companies, high net worth individuals, and more. Our world can be a dangerous place to live and do business in. ETS Intelligence makes you safe by specializing in complex and high-tech investigations, background checks, computer forensics, surveillance, forensic accounting, and more. Let ETS Intelligence be the vetting intelligence agency for your company or business. They also provide personal security services. ETS Intelligence LLC, owned and operated by experienced active-duty law enforcement. Call toll-free 800-230-7429. 800-230-7429.
AM 560, The Answer.
You held up pretty good, old man.
This one goes out to the one I love.
Listen, you see me over here with yoga pants on. There's no singing when I'm in the studio.
This one goes out. Oh, sorry.
Little pitchy.
Yes. So, Sean, by law, we're required every hour to talk about sports.
Don't tell me I have to do something that makes me not want to do it.
Did you watch the NCAA tournament last night?
Why would I watch those children in costumes?
Of course, I want there to be an NCAACP, which protects black players.
You know what else I learned?
Not easy for me to say.
You know what else I learned after a friend of mine? I said, God, this guy looks like he's 30 years old. He's a quadruple senior. What the hell is a quadruple senior?
Well, that's when they red shirt you, they pink shirt you, they do a whole rainbow
Get
coalition
the hell
of shirts for you
make
so
it
that
up.
you stay forever in
like
school.
playing dice with Big Jilly. You're just making it up.
So Virginia won last night.
Who cares? Any one of those kids from Virginia? Any one of them from Virginia? No,
Well-
it didn't win. Various bad neighborhoods around America won. That's what won. Get the hell out of here.
That's various bad neighborhoods university.
There you go.
Won.
Now
they
you're
beat
talking.
They beat Texas Tech last night. Hey, look, I still think Bobby Knight coaches Texas Tech.
Sure you do.
So what do I know? But what I'm saying
The world
is
would be a
that
lot better off without
you are
sports.
not impressed that Virginia came back from losing to a 16 seed last year. That's like blowing a 1-foot putt. They were the number 1 seed in the country. They came back. That's one of the greatest stories of all time. They came back. They were down by 3 points with 5 seconds to go in their last 3 games, or 12 seconds to go, and they came back and won all those games.
I'm more focused on how many tuitions are subsidized because you're giving away the damn school so we could pretend these kids go there instead of shoot the ball in the hole.
But look at they pretend there's a certain symmetry here.
Yeah.
You have the athletes who pretend to go to school, and then you have Lori Loughlin's kids who are students who pretend to be
Poor
athletes.
Lori Loughlin.
Well, they
Lori
pretend to be athletes.
Yeah, she's the guilty one, but not the scumbag that took the envelope, right? Just the person who said, look,
I think they got rid of the scumbag who took the envelope.
Sure
but they
he-
should get rid of the university president.
I'll bet you he doesn't do a day, the guy who took the money. And here's the other thing. You don't think he was sprinkling the infield with the money? Come on. The whole thing's a scam. Just so you could dribble and shoot in the hole.
That's an analogy here, and you're going from basketball to baseball, sprinkling the infield.
Yeah.
So what did you mean by that? You mean spreading the money around?
Of course.
To everybody?
Sprinkle the
I
infield.
got that.
Come on.
I never.
How are you ever going to make it into
Is that
into
part
tax?
of American idiom?
You're an
Sprinkling the
attorney
infield?
now, right? You're a Jewish
Yes.
attorney. You got to figure
And
out
now
how
you're
to
anti-Semitic
sprinkle.
as well,
No, you got to figure
right?
out how to sprinkle the infield so you could open up one of these scam. I lower your property tax.
My
businesses.
law license does not say Jewish attorney. It says conservative Jewish
If
attorney.
it did, you're sure
Yes.
it'd be better. Yeah.
That's the stereotype, that all Jewish attorneys are good.
No,
We're not all
You've
good.
broken that stereotype all by yourself. Not the stereotype.
Some of us are incompetent.
Exactly.
So there you go. Because I want to go against the grain, the stereotype. Okay, you don't want to talk about that, but you do want to talk about the top story this morning because Good Morning America did interview Dr. Dow this morning. You remember Dr. Dow?
Play
He's
my
the guy,
clip.
Dr. Dow was dragged off a United Airlines flight, got maybe only like 7...
No. I said my clip.
Is that really? That's really what he sounded like, and he broke his nose and everything like that, and he got like 7 figures and lifetime membership in the Red Carpet Burn Club.
Just makes me want to punch him again.
He's the guy. I mean, look what the guy did.
Genius.
He pulled rank over everybody else because he was a doctor, supposedly more important. If he's more important, what is he doing flying coach?
I got
on
$20.
United Airlines.
$20 says his wife was rooting for the guy beating him.
Here is what he had to say on Good Morning America this morning on America.
Have you watched the video?
Later on.
What's that like to watch?
Few months later, after I get my cell phone back, my iPhone back, the first reaction, I just cried.
He got his iPhone back and he cried.
What else did he say on Good Morning America?
I don't think we can play that. I don't think we can play that. Are we allowed to play that?
Yeah, why do we want to make the same joke?
Well, because we made it an hour ago.
All right, here.
What's the power rotation?
Just for Sean.
Me so horny.
All right. He doesn't say that.
Come on, where's Bob Kraft?
You're saying he's trans. He's not
Yeah,
trans.
sure he's not.
No, he's not.
Did you hear him screaming?
This is substantive. A lot of people have sympathy for
Lori
him.
Lightfoot's got a deeper voice.
They hate the airlines. So
You can hear you screaming in pain.
Like a girl.
I don't know, I just cried.
Yeah, he cried.
He cried.
Dr. Dow. Poor Dr.
Stand up
Dow.
like a man and take the beating. Jesus.
All
You never made it in Melrose Park, I'll tell you that.
There is an Israeli election today. Benjamin Netanyahu supposedly is corrupt, but the other guys had problems too. Benny Gantz.
He's been the prime minister for how many times?
Yeah, this is like his 6th term or whatever.
And he's supposedly corrupt? How are you going to stay in that spot unless you're
Totally.
corrupt? All of a sudden, he's a daily.
You got to
Come
be
on.
a little corrupt.
Please.
You got to be a little corrupt. But he's defending Israel. And yesterday, Trump did a very
There you
good thing
go.
for him because he designated the IRGC, that Revolutionary Guard Corps, he designated them a terrorist group. And a lot of people got upset about that in the Pentagon because they don't like terrorists being called terrorists.
The line should be, sure, he's corrupt, but not like a Chicago alderman. There you go. Let him off. He's
So
just
he's got a
little
good chance.
corrupt.
He's got a good chance of winning today. And the big story is that Portillo's is offering chocolate cake today for 56 cents a slice. I didn't read the whole story. I just read the tweets, but I intuit the tweet. Intuit the story from the tweet. It's got to be the 56th anniversary of Portillo's, which, as you painfully reminded us earlier, isn't even owned by Portillo's anymore.
He's a genius. That guy from the back of his car, basically.
Yeah.
A dirty water dog stand, built an empire.
Yeah.
He is a monument to capitalism.
Yeah. And how many years did it take him to do it? Longer than it took Jeff Bezos to build Amazon?
And
Bezos
how much
lost
could you
lost money for 21 years?
And
on
you
that.
could taste the hot dog right now just by saying Portillo's. It's genius.
It's a wonderful hot dog.
Phenomenal.
Eat there often. So, and the other top story, of course, is that Pete Buttigieg.
Who?
Pete Buttigieg.
Sure.
Whatever, the mayor of South Bend did challenge Mike Pence, who didn't want the challenge. He said, "Hey, I like Pete Buttigieg, but Pete Buttigieg wants a social war in this country,
All you have
and
to
he's
know,
going to get
You
it."
don't have to know about his policies. All you have to know is he's homosexual. There you go. Candidate. I'd really like to get past that. I'm really not interested in who people sleep with. What are you? What are your beliefs?
The last time I
what
saw
are your fundamentals?
The High Sparrow, Anthony Kennedy, had ruled on Obergefell, which made same-sex marriage legal in America. So what's the problem right now?
I don't like the whole thing.
I don't know what the problem is anymore.
Focusing on everybody else's
All right.
idea of political correctness.
Will you please
and
come
their character.
back? Will you please come back tomorrow?
I
and
can't
be
believe
with
they're
me?
still letting me in. Although I don't have a key, I just break the
I think
door
you're
every
getting
morning.
fed up with me. Are you?
No more than the old lady.
I promise not to interrupt you,
Sure.
me, interrupting myself too much tomorrow.
Even Mike Scott won't take action on that, and he's a degenerate gambler.
Mike Scott, thanks for putting up
Always.
with us this morning. Good morning to you.
A man accused of attacking 2 siblings who are recovering after that attack. It happened in Sleepy Hollow. The man shot outside